Hey, uh, I'm Third Monkey, and I'm here with Tasnica covering a game that I did not play. This is the Imperial Diplomacy Championship. Tasnica, you want to say hey?
Hello, hello.
Yeah, so this was a pretty interesting game. I believe we grabbed the highest IDR, so like the highest rated players for all of B1. Was it B1, Tasnica?
Yeah, this game was, I believe, on the B2 map like a couple weeks after it came out, the 2.0 map.
Gotcha.
And it was the top 25 who were invited. And whenever someone declined, they just moved on to the next person. I think we got down into like the high 30s, maybe. So maybe like 38th on the IDR was probably like the lowest ranked person in the game.
Yeah, that makes
Out
sense.
of, several hundreds. So, it's a very high level game in terms of IDR.
So everyone in this game is like basically a top player.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Obviously there's been a lot of discussion about the IDR system and what it measures and what it encourages. But at the very least, these are players who have won multiple games.
Yeah, very cool. Um, Okay. Do you want to just like look straight at spring moves, or actually, wait? Why don't you tell me a little bit about your position? Like, what's the country you're playing, and like what's going in on pregame press?
Yeah, absolutely. So, my specific perspective is going to be fairly narrow because I played a four-dot regional in this game. I played Ayutthaya in Southeast Asia. Um, that being said, I am one of those players who talks to everyone on the board. So I do pay attention to events all over the map, and they absolutely do affect my game. But in terms of like raw moves and stuff, obviously, I only have so much direct influence being this little power surrounded by a 5-dot Ming, a 6-dot Mughal, and a bunch of colonials. Literally all my neighbors are bigger than me.
Yeah, it's a scary looking position. There's a volcano on the map. What is that about?
So this was an addition by the GM Osius, a fantastic GM. And on a few rare occasions, he would add little flares to the map. This one was a volcanic eruption. I believe this is around where Krakatoa is.
Okay.
Um, and so he made like a comment about wanting to start the game off with a bang, and he included this volcanic eruption in the start. It's purely aesthetic; it doesn't affect the gameplay or anything.
Okay,
Just a fun little addition from our GM.
just a little bit of theming. That's cool. Um, yeah. So you're playing IU. Could you give me like what are your thoughts going in about like how IU might go and avoid? Like, what were you looking for, and how did your initial press with your neighbors compare to what you had expected? And also, who are
Yeah,
your neighbors here?
yeah. So excellent questions. So starting off, IU was my first choice to play.
Okay,
Now, at this point, the 2.0 map had not been out for very long, only a few weeks. And IU's reputation has kind of changed a lot over the course of Imperial Diplomacy. If there's any current Imp players watching this, they probably know that IU is considered to be a pretty good power in the present day. At the time of signups, though, it was kind of a mixed opinion power. Um, it had a mediocre reputation for quite a long time. But I looked at IU, especially after the 2.0 changes, and I thought it had potential. And I'd also never played in this part of the map before, so I figured it'd be fun to try out. So I top picked IU, and I got IU.
nice. Yeah, I saw in the B2 map, like I guess this map came out like just before you picked countries or something like that. That like this pre-core and udon got added, which seemed like a pretty nice buff for IU.
Yeah, so for my analysis of IU, it's got some strengths and weaknesses. The strengths are that it is fairly defensible. It is a bit hard for other powers to really push into its cores hard and fully eliminate it. The downside is expansion and cohesiveness of your units. So IU has, armies can go up in the north, and you have this weird long peninsula that kind of forces your fleets into multiple theaters. And those fleets can't really help each other in any way unless they're all going due south.
Mhm.
And if they're doing that, then your armies aren't able to support them in any way. So you really need to think far ahead in terms of your builds, because it takes so long for your units to switch between theaters. So despite the fact that it looks small and compact, it almost plays a bit more like a Mapuche or Inuit or even a colonial power, in the sense that its units are kind of spread out and need to work independently to some degree.
It's kind of interesting you say that. Like it sounds like you've kind of got like multiple corner positions, but they're like backed into each other. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah, absolutely.
when I hear your description, I'm also thinking of stuff like Yuchishon, where like you kind of had two corners backing into this impassable, but they sort of struggle to interact meaningfully with each other unless you're going like I guess in a very specific direction.
Yeah, exactly. So you need to plan far ahead, make your builds very carefully. Cores are incredibly important, um, because the more you expand, a lot of these centers, especially the Ayutthaya, like actual dot, are just not good places for builds if you're trying to get to any sort of front line. So you need to have those cores planned out. You need to have your units moving places. Otherwise, anything you gain will just take years to actually accomplish anything useful.
Yeah, for sure. Um, being sort of like overcommitted or undercommitted on the wrong side seems hard to roll back as a decision. Um,
Absolutely. And I is definitely a power that benefits from long, drawn out games, because of the time it takes to really make cores, expand to the front lines, be a more defensive power. Um, Short, fast paced games are extremely tricky to navigate. As several powers in this game, Sweden is another famous example of a power that, has a hard time doing things quickly. And I think IU is one of those as well.
yeah, so like, could you tell me a little bit about like who are your neighbors and how are you feeling about them, just based on initial vibes?
Yeah. So of my neighbors, the only two I've played with before are Kevin in Mughal, and Basil in Spain.
Okay.
Um, Basil and I have gotten along pretty well in previous games. Funnily enough, Basil was also playing Spain in the last game I played with her, although I was England in that game. We got along pretty well, had a pretty good rapport. And Kevin, I played with in the ICI. He was Poland and I was Mapuche. And in that game, we were basically game long allies that, over the long term, were able to work together in South America. And while I did stab him on the very last turn, it was for the win, and he was out of contention at that point. So it wasn't really a stab that he especially held against me.
Sure.
Um, pretty reasonable position to stab in. I didn't cost him the win. Um, you know, the best time to stab somebody is if you win immediately off of it. It's hard. It's hard
Yeah,
to
right.
hard to complain. Hard to complain.
Like, oh yeah, the game's over. There's not really like a 3 day like period where you're just like, oh, how dare you stab me, and like you didn't even win, and blah blah blah.
Yeah. In contrast to the most frustrating stabs are the really poorly thought out ones that just destroy both of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, okay, so that's Spain and Mughals. Who are the other folks around? Just for the you know, uh, for the folks watching
Um,
this later.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see their names. So Aeolus is the Dutch, very high IDR player, has won tons of games. I mean, obviously all the players here have won repeatedly, but Aeolus has won like 5 games, I think.
Yeah.
So just a player who's won over and over again, very skilled.
My
Addy,
my last game I played with Aeolus. It was 1.5B. He was playing Ming. He went +3 in year one, and he hit his VSCC in 1647.
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely not someone to underestimate. I know he's famously made some comebacks in other games.
and
I think.
Basil was Ayutthaya in that one actually, so
Oh, really?
they have some history.
Yeah. I might have to go look at the server for some of their names. Ming was Sejland, I think is how you say it.
Okay.
I just called him Ming all game. But Sejong is the main player. Um, I got a lot of really good press from him early on. So again, I had never interacted with this player in any fashion prior to this game, but we just built up a really good rapport, had a lot of good chats, and actually I felt really promising, which is interesting because the Asian mainland is tricky for Ayutthaya. You have these big land powers to the north of you. You could build a bunch of armies and push in north, but it's tricky and difficult, and you're probably going to be an underdog. So having good relations with both Ming and Mughal from the start was fantastic. It meant that I could play it a bit more safe on the mainland, um, not get in over my head too early, hopefully, and be able to focus more on other theaters. And most importantly, avoid the disaster of, Ming and Mughal teaming up against me from the start,
Yeah.
which is probably, the single worst thing that can happen to Ayutthaya in year one.
Yeah, absolutely. Like for anyone, just your two regional neighbors are teaming up against you is like just it's it's never a good sign for getting your game off the ground.
Yeah, and in terms of early deals, things are very promising. So Ming agrees to let me into Ava. He also tells me that he's not going after Dong King.
Okay.
Um, and in addition, I make a deal with Mughal to, since I know I'm getting into Ava, or at least I hope I am, assuming Ming's telling me the truth.
Yeah.
I agree to support him into Bamo in the fall,
Okay.
in exchange for him not sending his fleets east.
Okay. So you would expect like not Katak to Ganges Delta, or would you expect not to Surkar Coast either? Or
Ganges Delta is the only one I forbid, but basically he won't be going after Andaman or Pegu. If he's going to Sirkar, it's to attack England.
ooh. Okay. Okay.
And in fact, me and Mughal make a lot of plans early about dealing with England early. England is another very strong player named Addy,
Mhm.
and we both recognize that England is a potential threat. Me and Mughal do, and he and Portugal get to talking and start making plans to kick England out of India very early on in the game. And I support this because, hey, if England is focusing on the Indian mainland, or sorry, if Mughal is focusing on the mainland and not building many fleets, and England is getting knocked out, then this whole sea area west of me is going to be fairly empty,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. It gives me a secure front, even more of a corner position, and lets me focus in different directions.
Yeah. That sounds amazing.
So yeah, I basically talked to Mughal a lot, I talked to Portugal a lot, encouraged them to work together. I do have good chats with England, who basically says that she has no interest in Asa or Andaman Islands,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
is me focusing on India, which is like cool. England's focused on India, Mughal's focused on India. None of them are going east toward me, which is really great to see. I also, very early on in the game, something important happens. I'm involved in very few group chats in this game.
Hmm.
And just as a general thing, I tend not to do much in group chats. I prefer one on ones.
Okay. Yeah.
But very early on, so before even the first moves, a four-way group chat is started by the Guarani player, who is Hun. I've played with him before. Very good player. And he makes a chat with four regional powers in it as an information sharing anti colonial chat.
Okay.
And this chat is very active throughout the game, especially during the first half.
Okay. Who else is in it?
So it is me, Guarani, Uchishone, and Sweden.
Oh wow, that's like a totally random set. Um.
Um, yes, but you'll notice that we're all very far away from each other,
Yep.
unlikely to step on each other's toes, basically have very little to lose from the other powers doing really well.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it seems really nice to be able to coordinate this sort of thing. Um,
And we talk a lot, and share a lot of information with each other. some of which is extremely useful for me early in the game. Not only do I learn about the tensions between Portugal and England, but I also learn about a whole lot of tensions between Dutch and all the other colonials.
Okay.
They are pretty clearly the odd one out. Um, they are being very assertive in their early press and stepping on a lot of toes. And I hear from a variety of sources that the Dutch are going to get embroiled in conflicts early on in the game.
Hey, if you're playing
Pretty much,
Ayutthaya, like that sounds solid to me. Like,
it absolutely does. Yeah, basically the only power on the entire map really, who seems to be on like good terms with the Dutch is Congo. That's basically the only like pro Dutch source I'm hearing from.
okay.
And the thing is that, in the long term, it's not easy for the Dutch and Congo to coexist because of how close together they are. So I figure that either A, that relationship is going to fall apart in the long term, or B, it's going to go really well and the Dutch will invest a lot in Africa and make that a big focus of theirs. Either way, it's not that bad for me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it seems totally fine for you. I'm.
Now, you go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say. I was gonna ask if you had seen A2J3. I think it was.
A2J3. I might have seen it, though I don't recall off the top of my head.
Let me see if I can pull it up. So that game was pretty interesting because it was a Dutch Congo joint win,
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
and I've never seen anything quite like this before or after. But
Oh wow, that's like the dream.
this is like this is what you need to do to achieve Dutch Congo win, and this is Congo at exactly 32, and you can see like Dutch has gotten a pretty good West Africa position, but like Congo needed everything, and
Yeah.
they're already running up into the Dutch in INO2. So yeah, I mean it's possible, right? Like looking at this, but it's not easy.
Well, I think something that stands out to me about this map is that it's a Dutch Congo Granny win,
Yes.
which is super interesting. That the Dutch managed to make these strong regional allies in both continents and really thrive from that.
I think for most of his latter half of this game, Guani's actually death warring the Dutch and slowly pushing them back.
Oh really? Oh
Yeah, it was
really?
like Guarani
Oh.
Cabo Verde. They're like dotting each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the dynamic here, not to get too far abroad from the actual game, is that Inuit is like perpetually on the verge of soloing, uh, and the Dutch is like the Dutch are Luxon in this game, and they're like, hey, like Ronnie, you need to like lay off me because Inuit's just gonna solo otherwise, and they manage to like thread the line between fighting and uh, holding off Inuit for Inuit to get a win. And if you look at this VSCC, I think Inuit like had plenty of order sets where they could have just stabbed for a solo here, and they don't. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting game regardless. Anyway, sorry for the complete distraction.
Oh, it's certainly interesting at least. And hey, it's good to know that Dutch Congo can work. But yeah, so in the context of the championship game, these two seem to have a good rapport,
Yeah,
but it's not that's not overly bothersome to me. Um, Knowing that the Dutch will have lots of pressure elsewhere, regardless,
yeah,
is very good to know, and greatly influences my early interactions with the Dutch. Because the Dutch also come to me early on, and when I express interest in Ase
yeah.
for myself, they react very negatively to that.
Okay,
They say that Ase is a natural Dutch dot. It is the meta Dutch dot. And I basically reply to that, dude, this map's been out for a couple weeks. Uh, and Ase is a relatively new addition to the game. Uh, yes, I can see arguments for why the Dutch should get it, but just that it's happening in a couple other games is not very persuasive to me. I'm not a very heavy meta player in the first place, especially in a game as dynamic as ImpDip.
yeah,
Um, But yeah, I am concerned about, and I feel that most Ayuthayas, especially ones who are thinking of allying with people on the mainland, should be a bit concerned about two Dutch fleets next to Malacca Strait at the end of the first year.
That does sound like a way you die.
Yeah, because it's one of it touches how many? It touches two of my home centers, touches 5 dots. Very strong sea space. Malacca and Natuna are the spots that you really want no one else getting into. Um, so me and the Dutch kind of agree to disagree and to kind of reconvene after spring moves go through. Um, but I'm not super worried about. Oh, and they also want me to be very heavily army focused. The
Mhm.
Dutch are like, hey, I want to work with you, but I want you to build almost exclusively armies.
Yeah.
And again, through the combination of the warnings I've received about the Dutch player, my positive relationships with my neighbors to the north, um, and the fact that I know the Dutch probably won't have the position to back up too many threats, I feel comfortable kind of, not just rolling over and playing too nice.
Yeah, yeah. Having both of the regionals on side feels really big in terms of like being able to play more aggressively and more flexibly in the south, and especially that that the Dutch are having conflicts with the other colonials or like people elsewhere on the board. Like it makes it so much easier to afford, you know, being a little bit more aggressive with the line.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's obviously it's a calculated risk, right? This is a game about relationships. If you make enemies early on, it can really come to haunt you for the entire game. So, it's something that you shouldn't shy away from if the circumstances are in your favor, but it's definitely worth putting a lot of thought into and not doing lightly.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, First impressions last. So
Yeah, absolutely. But the good news is I have good first impressions with all my neighbors except the Dutch.
yeah, yeah, that's not a bad spot to be in, right? Like one
Yeah,
direction. Okay,
absolutely.
so this is like a really great looking position already, right? Like presumably you're getting Sambas. You have an exclusive claim to Udong. I doubt Manila goes to Udong here. Ming are saying they're not taking Dongkin, and they're not going for Ava either. And the Mughals are not touching Pegu or Andaman.
Yep,
That feels so nice.
it is.
That's really a dream position.
So I'm opening to Ava with Ming's permission and Mughal wanting me there. I'm moving to Malacca Strait because I want to put pressure on Ase.
Actually, let's go look at the
Um,
actual orders map.
oh yeah, sure. So
Um,
yeah, here's the moves. So you can see me moving to Malacca Strait.
yep.
Um, my idea being that I can always fall back to Andaman if need be, but it's possible that I might be able to convince the Dutch to cede it, or at the very least, make them hesitate. Maybe, for example, they're worried about getting bounced out, so they'll move to Ase, but they won't backfill Palembang. They'll instead dot Reunion or something like that.
Sure.
Um, and so basically, yeah, I just want to have lots of options there. I moved into the Tuna to go to Soundbus, and I go to Lansing with the idea of going to Dongkin.
Okay. Does Portugal like is Portugal okay with that? Are they going to bounce you out? What's the
Portugal tells me they're going to support me into Dongkin,
wow? Okay. Yeah.
which is fantastic. I've got great relations with Portugal. Um, they are saying that they don't trust England, they don't trust the Dutch, they don't trust the Ming, and that they want to work with me. And I'm very happy to work with them. Um, there is a bit of a hiccup regarding Portugal, but not for me, it's for Mughal. So apparently, Mughal promised Portugal he would not open to Hyderabad.
Oh no.
And they had these elaborate plans to take down England together from the start.
Yeah.
but on the condition that Mughal does not open to Hyderabad. Mughal opens to Hyderabad. Portugal is immediately pissed at them. Um, Starts talking with Safavid about anti-Mughal stuff,
Yeah.
and this early coalition against England starts to fall apart.
Okay.
Which
Yeah.
I'm not exceptionally thrilled about because having England knocked out here could be really nice for me in the long run. But I'm also not super upset about either because it means Mughal is still going to be busy, just in different ways.
Sure. Yeah. Like the main thing is like Mughals play your south, and you know, as long as you're focusing south, right? All like three armies south. These are all units that won't bother you.
Yeah, and it's entirely possible that Mughal might still be able to turn things around and calm Portugal down. But definitely they're very early on, like, oh yeah, we're gonna be best friends and just kick out England immediately. Just immediately starts to crack.
Yeah.
The Bombo bounce was arranged between Ming and Mughal. So this was planned by them, and Ming even knows that I'm going to support Mughal into Bombo. So
Mhm.
all of my moves here are approved by both of my regional neighbors.
That's absolutely beautiful.
Ming's going to take Rinpungpa,
Yeah.
which is guaranteed thanks to the bounce. So we're almost kind of like a de facto triple here, at least in year one.
Mhm.
Which works great for me. I have no objections to the way this triple is playing out thus far. Spain doesn't do anything worrisome. Um, the Dutch, are clearly setting themselves up for the Asa Palembang double take,
Yep.
um, which I'm not thrilled with. They are also not thrilled about me moving to Malacca Strait. We get into a bunch of arguments this phase. Um, And basically, over the course of the phase, so I know the entire time that I can get Andaman for free. Dutch do not know that. Dutch do not know this.
Yeah.
So over the course of the phase, I kind of like gradually toned down my rhetoric and let them convince me to go for Andaman instead, despite the fact that I'm quote probably going to get bounced out of it.
Okay.
Um, And basically, I'm basically trying to do this as a way of like de-escalating with the Dutch, basically kind of letting them feel like they're winning, that that they're pushing back against what I want, and I'm kind of gradually um agreeing to it and backing down.
Yeah, and it also seems like you just want the guaranteed dot, right? Like there's no
Yeah,
opportunity cost for Palembang to tap Ake here. Um,
exactly. So they're gonna do it every time. Um, I could like try to tap Palembang or something in
yeah.
case they don't backfill it, but I have the Andaman Islands guaranteed.
Yeah.
And again, I know from all my press globally that the Dutch are going to be under pressure. If not now, then soon. And I believe in Europe it's already starting. If we can take a look at Dutch Europe, um,
Oh,
yeah. So England's in Southern Bight, France is in the Channel. So there's 3 units on Ghent.
yeah.
Um, lots of pressure on the Dutch in Europe.
And what else is going on? Con
Let's see.
bounce into Seneca Walk.
Yeah, so I don't think the Dutch are getting Philadelphia.
What's happening here? Why is Falmouth in Maine?
Um, oh, so in my press, England and France are both like suspiciously insistent that they're at odds with each other, despite their moves looking very coordinated. So I'm starting to see signs of an EF here.
Yeah, you
And
can't play St. John's to Newfoundland Banks and think that it's anything other than an EF, right? Like, surely this is some arranged. But it has to be arranged somehow, right? Like, if there's nothing weird
yeah,
going on, surely you go to St. Anthony.
I think this is I believe this is going to end up being a trade for Port Royal. Again, this is only like a suspicion at this point, but there's definitely signs of an EF.
Oh, and Okay, and then supporting France into St. Anthony, and then England taking France, Port Royal off France.
Yeah, something like that.
That the Dutch are so dead.
Oh no, the Dutch are so dead. Which is why
Yeah.
I basically, I'm comfortable picking a fight with them and then slowly backing off as everyone else starts dogpiling them all over the world.
Oh my God, look at
Um,
this. Like they don't do the Antilles current moves, right? So they're playing nice here. So all this North America stuff must be arranged. And like
yeah,
Cormonton to Knots, come on.
yeah. So that's basically my gambit here is that I'll be able to stab the Dutch next year
Yeah.
if basically the kind of like trajectory of our relationship is going up from the rock bottom it started as, while everyone else is going down.
Yeah, that
Um,
makes sense.
and so that's kind of my play here, which I feel I have the room to do because again I've got these great relations with my mainland neighbors.
Okay. Do you want to look at anything that's going on elsewhere in the board, like brief pass, or do you want to just skip?
So I guess the question is, do we want this to be more about the game as a whole, or about just my corner of the world? Because as far as I know, there aren't any really other commentaries being done on this game, so I'm happy to offer insights into anywhere on the world from what I was able to garner while playing.
Yeah, I mean, we've got you here, so I think this should focus on your point of view. But also I don't mind like looking at other parts of the board just to get context about what the dynamics
Yeah,
are, you know.
yeah. So if anything stands out, let's talk about it. We can either make speculation if I don't know what was happening, or I can offer insight if I did know what was happening.
Atha's dead.
Yes, Atha is dead. So Atha was one of only two players to not reply to any of my press um, during year one. I think it was Atha and Austria
Okay.
who just never replied to my attempts to reach out. Um, Meanwhile, of course, I had great chats with Oot, Oot being one of the four members of our information agency.
Yeah.
And then Inuit, I had some good chats with early on as well. So when I heard that the two of them were thinking of ganging up on Atha early on, I'm like, yeah, sounds great to me. Um, Inuit, Oot totally wants to work with you. Oot, Inuit totally wants to work with you.
Okay. Yeah.
Atha's free real estate. Now, obviously, I doubt I had a very large role in convincing them to actually do this.
Yeah.
But the fact that I had no press at all from Atha basically gave me no reason to discourage it at the very least.
Yeah, it makes sense. And if Yeat's a friend, then better keep him around. This is like interesting, like good Guarani Mapuche theory. Like, I think Mapuche is saying, "Hey, if you go to Buenos, I'm kicking you out."
Oh yeah, it's actually really funny. So Mapuche, um, so at the very beginning of the game, we were chatting, and the Mapuche player mentioned that they'd read my guide on Mapuche.
Mhm.
Um, are you familiar with the Imperial Diplomacy power guides that some people have written?
No.
So I think it was like part of like the newspaper chat,
Okay.
like half a year back. But people wrote a number of guides on various powers, mostly dated to around like the 1.4, 1.5
Uh huh.
era. So a little bit outdated, but that hasn't changed that much.
Yeah.
And I wrote a guide on Mapuche, which you can find on the ImpDip Discord. And this Mapuche player had read the guide and was talking with me about it or in the early stages of the game. So we kind of bonded over that.
Yeah. It's super cool. Um. Okay. Anything else weird? If there's weird stuff, maybe we can comment on it. But like the vanilla stuff, I feel like is not super interesting. Oh my God,
Oh,
Sweden.
yes. So there is the Sweden war with Russia. So Sweden and Poland go in against Russia at the very start. Sweden, of course, being one of the members of my Info Alliance, and Poland being played by Luxon,
Uh huh.
who is very famously kind of a high tempo, very tactical-minded player.
Yep.
And so yeah, there's this big early war here, which I'm kind of mixed on. On the one hand, um, Russia does border several of my neighbors, so it could be nice to have them strong. On the other hand, if Russia is vulnerable, that could encourage Ming and Mughal to push northward to get dots rather than, toward me.
Hmm.
So I can kind of see this working out in my favor either way. And it's mostly just really interesting to see. Like, you don't often see Sweden send two armies into Russia at the very start.
Yeah, it's very non-traditional. They're giving up their claim to Trondheim by doing
Oh,
this.
yes. And Narva, too, I believe.
Wow. Wow.
So they're very much going, all in.
Yeah, I've never seen this before, and I don't know what to think.
Well, we can certainly come back here from time to time
Yeah,
to see
well,
how well it works out for Sweden.
I want to see how that develops. That's very interesting. Sav stabs Portugal, very normal. Not going to Strait of Hormuz and Spring 01 mistake. Um, I am actually an Ajuran spec in this game, so I, would occasionally pay attention to what was happening in this part of the world. And I think there's a bunch of discussion about this opening where uh, Ajuran would take Azande and Abyssinia would get Warsangali, and then they would like convoy up into the Ottomans. Um, but they don't end up agreeing to it, and so Abyssinia finds themselves a bit friendless.
Yeah, I had really good relations with all three of the Africa regionals. This game, I had chats with all of them, and there was a lot of conflict and distrust between the three um, from pretty early on.
Pain.
And yeah, then we have the Asian triple, so to speak, all kind of doing their thing. Let's see, Tokugawa was played by Bird,
Uh huh.
who's been in quite a few games, and then Ching was played by oh, this was my first time playing with them, uh, by Buzzard is their name on the server. Their Discord tag is the Warhammer. Um, have you played with Buzzard slash Warhammer in other games?
I have never heard of them.
Yeah, this was my first time interacting with them too. I had good chats with them, but I'm just not familiar with their game history.
Sure. Um, we'll see how things develop, I guess, with them.
Yeah,
Everything else looks pretty normal. Do you want to just advance to fall, and we'll see how
let's do.
year one finished?
Yeah, let's do it.
Start making some time.
Yeah, I also haven't been checking the stream at all. Has there been any questions or
There have
not
not
really?
been any questions yet. No.
All right, fair enough. We can do our own thing, and if questions pop up, we'll
Yeah.
answer them then.
The format's also pretty interesting. Usually, I would do these kind of streams like the day after the game ends, or like the weekend after the game ends, or something. So it might also be that. Well, also like press or like messages in the server for this game are also locked at this point. So I couldn't even be like, "Hey, players, like this is happening." Um,
Oh yeah, totally. This game ended what, a month and a half ago,
yeah, yeah.
so it's been a while.
Okay.
Though still faster than Diplostrats gets to games sometimes.
Oh man, yeah.
Like, oh, this game happened 9 months ago. Let's talk about it.
Diplostrat's got to the new variant game like the weekend after, but yeah, that's not usually what happens.
Oh yeah, they were on top of that one.
Yeah,
That was an
was
incredible game. Um, Advertisement for the Curiosity Dip video.
yeah.
That was, and you made one too, right?
Yeah, I have my own video on it. I guess shout out to the
Yeah.
YouTube
Well,
channel where you're already watching this, right? Like, go
yep.
go look at the other video on this channel. But yeah, that was super cool. I was very happy to have been part of that.
Yeah, I loved spectating that game. But yeah, for this game, fall
Yes,
moves.
yes.
So I walk into Donkin.
Uh-huh.
Portugal does not support me. Um, they claim that they forgot. Um, which they didn't bounce me at least,
Yep.
but it does make me a bit worried about their reliability. Um,
Yeah.
Especially since they also stab Mughal here. Um, Mughal and Portugal both tell me that they've reached a deal and an understanding, and that they're going to take out England together anyway. And Mughal does try, but Portugal stabs them by cutting Hyderabad support,
Yep. Okay.
which is just awful for Mughal and a huge boon for England. Note that Portugal doesn't get a dot out of this. They're just buying friendship points with England.
Yeah, we're not stabbing. Well, they have no other way of stabbing Mughals elsewhere. Are they getting help from England elsewhere on the map?
Let's find out.
England's getting Brattahlid, so it's not that.
Because the North Atlantic and I guess Africa are the only theaters. Though of course in Africa, England moved eastward, so couldn't support into Niani or anything. Poland bounces Portugal out of Niani.
Yes,
Um,
good, good.
England, England can't help because England is dotting Great Ardra.
Yep, that's really funny. That is so funny. Um, yeah, I have some thoughts on this. I think this is a pretty solid move as Portugal. I think, and I really think France holding here is a heads up play. Like, I think when these two guys fight, Portugal just wins the entire West Africa just off rip.
Yes, Portugal does tend to have a very strong West Africa position, and can very easily sweep it if the others fight each other.
Yeah, they're usually the ones who get this like extra free dot, which is just insult to injury on top of having the extra course. Anyways, uh, I'm struggling, but I'll get back on topic here. It just seems like England is not getting, well, Portugal is not getting much back here for helping England.
As far as I can tell, um, England isn't doing anything in particular for Portugal.
Yeah.
It's just like relationship building,
Yep.
which can be beneficial, especially as a colonial. Um, but it does really piss Mughal off and ensure that England is going to be very strong in India, where they could have instead been rather weak.
Yeah, and I imagine Portugal was just generally not super happy about the Hyderabad move in spring.
Oh yeah, no, Portugal was very annoyed about that, and I think Mughal did underestimate how badly Portugal would react.
Hmm.
But the fact that Portugal pretended to make amends and then stabbed them here for no dots basically made it a mutual enmity.
Okay, okay. So now, like, England is holding the cards, basically, it seems like.
Oh yes, absolutely. England's position is incredible because Mughal and Portugal both hate each other at this point.
Yeah, yeah, it sounds really nice. If you're England, like, half the time this colony doesn't get off the ground, and to have Mughal and Portugal stabbing each other for zero is, it's a good sign.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And of course the Dutch, just bailed entirely. They're sending their fleets over to Sumatra, which they get into because, of course, I take the guaranteed Edmund Islands.
Yeah,
No reunion dot or anything like that. They are indeed going to have two fleets next to me, but you know, our relationship momentum is positive. I've been backing down, being more conciliatory, while the rest of the world is stabbing them.
that's always a good place to be.
So yeah, I get a double. I get Animan, Samba, Stong King, and Ava. And I have Pegu and Udong, basically uncontested for next year.
Yeah, this is so nice. Just like you're basically guaranteed in this position to be one of the few regionals who will go like +2, +3, +4, something like that in year two, and just like really, I don't know what the phrase is, but like get off the starting block or something like that.
Yeah, well, and it gives me a lot of options. Because next year I can basically do anything. Like if I want to, I can just sit, play nice with everybody, and still go +2,
Yeah, yeah,
which is an incredible position to be in. and is an incredible boon for my relationships. Because I can just tell all my neighbors, hey, I'm going to chill this year and just take my pockets and be friends with everybody. And they could plausibly believe me because, again, I can keep growing without actually fighting anybody.
Yeah, letting
Which
everyone
gives
else commit, right? They're all here scrabbling over, well, zero dots, dotting each other, and you're sitting here like, yeah, I'm just get to hold on to my +2 for free for next year. It's just so nice.
exactly. In terms of my actual plans, my plan is to stab the Dutch.
Mhm.
Um, because I think they're going to be the biggest long-term threat. I think I have the worst relationship with them out of my neighbors. And I also think that they're going to have relatively limited ability to contest me because if they struggle elsewhere, they're either going to invest more in those places and thus have relatively little to oppose me with, or they'll overinvest against me, briefly hold me off, but then collapse elsewhere and it'll catch up with them.
Yep, yep, makes sense. Um, Part of what makes this colony so good for the Dutch is they've got a lot of cores nearby, and if they're not doing well enough elsewhere to leverage those cores, then it just kind of falls apart real fast.
Yeah, absolutely. So that those are kind of my thoughts after seeing the fall moves.
Okay, maybe we can look quickly at whether there's anything super crazy going on. Uh, Atha is dead. Cool.
Their capital's gone.
Capital, Sutina, Chilcotin. Tuchon doesn't get taken because of his support hold, which seems right. Um, yeah. Okay, and it is the St. Anthony Port Royal trade.
Yep. So there is an EF, and the Dutch are in big trouble.
At this point, are people making like loud noises about EF?
Yeah, it's definitely starting to happen.
Um, Notably, France not bouncing Dutch out of Belém. So it's not just like hyper aggro, like let's play all the most obvious EF moves. France does cover Reunion though, so not full trust of the Dutch.
Yes, so the Dutch wouldn't have gotten it anyway, and France might have even told the Dutch that they're covering Reunion, just to ensure that they didn't try for it.
Yeah, and this build is not the end of the world to skip for next year.
Right, because France isn't under that much pressure down here. The African regionals are, there's a lot of tension between them. Portugal, I don't think is doing anything. I mean, the Portugal's up in Burundi, so I
Yeah,
don't think Portugal is especially anti-France. So, France can slow play Madagascar here.
Abyssinia went to Red Sea and then walked to Tajura. That is interesting. I think I missed this when I was playing the game. That surprised me.
My guess is that they probably, I think they had some sort of conflict with Audron, right? They didn't trust Audron and decided to position against them rather than attack Ottoman.
Yeah, I guess that seems like a correct reading of it, right? Like versus like dotting Cairo or something, dotting Mecca.
Yeah, this game was a month and a half ago, and relations in Africa changed a lot. There was plentiful drama and shifting alliances, so it's hard at the top of my head to remember who was allied with who when. But oh, and also the Dutch lose Amsterdam.
Wow,
So just
wow.
adding to the reasons why I'm not especially you know worried about possible conflict with the Dutch.
This is really interesting because the Dutch didn't even go for Ghent. Like usually it's a choice of do you put the army in Ghent or the fleet in Ghent, and they went for the extra neutral.
Yeah, well, they're currently going for an eastward focus here. But France and England decided that they were not going to let the Dutch do that. They were just going to take all the Dutch's dots instead.
Yeah, I guess they just heard the dinner bell ringing.
Yeah, because like in fairness, if you can get some sort of deal going on with one or the other colonial, this isn't a bad opening. There's some serious growth potential in North Germany. But if you lose all your dots behind you, it works less well.
Yeah, this is really interesting. Um, so France bounces out of Philadelphia, but doesn't do the bounce out of Belém. I don't know what that's about.
I think France pours Kalina later, so maybe they were worried about actually getting in. Like maybe they thought that Creed might tap Kalina or something.
Oh, we have France in the chat. France says, I also knew that Aeolus wasn't going Ghent when I went to English Channel. Gotcha. Okay, so this is just something that he like publicly announced at the beginning. He's like, I'm going for Kiel Bremen. Um,
Okay. Can France tell us why there was no bounce from Kalina?
yeah, what's up with no bounce Kalina and bounce Philly? Is G Goggles Glosson?
Yeah, France was glossing in this game.
That was Aeolus telling you he was fine to sell you NA if you didn't bounce Belém. Oh, so this Philly bounce is agreed? Okay, you are. Okay. Not exactly. Okay.
Interesting.
More like he was trying to get you to flip. Aeolus is trying to get you to flip it on Addy. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I saw St. John's to Newfoundland Banks and I was like, "Oh god." London to Amsterdam or Southern Bight. I was about to say Amsterdam Southern Bight, but that's just a crazy way that the provinces are written. And he said red lines and stuff he didn't really care about. Gotcha. Okay, okay. And he's like, I really do need to play South America. Don't bounce me, Balam. I don't care about Korea. I don't care about an A. Okay, yeah, that's a very interesting way of playing it. Care a lot about Sam. Yeah, I am super interested in this game that you're playing. I really like the St. Anthony's Port Royal trade. I think Endakaru hold while Poland bounces Nyani is a super duper heads up move. Sakalava with the fleet, very cool. And I think I know what you're about to build in Fort Dauphin, and I'm a big fan. Um, okay, sorry, we're once again going off an adventure. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Tasnica, before we move to winter builds?
Um, I think those are all the major things. Like there are developments all over the board, but the major things that affect me are the pressure on the Dutch, the pressure on Mughal. We take a look at Ming and Ming's neighbors.
Uh,
How the fall played out there. Yeah, so let's see. So Ming got one, two, three. Oh, Toku and Ming also work together against the Dutch.
yeah,
So
so
the
it's
Dutch
very
get kicked out of anything.
kumbaya between these three. Though Ching is not taking the support into Karakorum.
Yes. So this move really ticks off Russia. And Russia is already ticked off at Sweden and is so Russia is Starcat.
Yes.
And Starcat in this game is a very how would you call it? Oh, is very much a Wobbuffet um type of player.
Like the
Like
Pokemon?
the Pokemon Wobbuffet.
Okay. What does that mean?
Um um well, Wobbuffet um mostly moves through counterattacks. And if you hit Wobbuffet hits back twice as hard.
Okay.
So Russia is getting hit by several people, namely Sweden, Poland, and Ming this year,
Yeah.
and is going to focus very heavily moving forward on those players in particular, and is not shy about telling everyone that.
Okay. So just very heavily grudge based, like I'm not gonna try to flip you. I'm just gonna fight you now.
Yeah, very kind of mutually assured destruction. Lots of deterrence, and if the deterrence doesn't work, hit back hard to make your point.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, let's move to winter then. I'm gonna skip retreats because
Oh, that's fun.
ain't nobody got time for that unless there's a really important retreat.
Not
Uh,
not a whole lot of them, and I'm sure we'll notice during moves if a unit somehow ends up in a weird place.
ooh, 1A 3F, yeah.
Yep. So I am building three fleets. Um, two of the fleets are in the east. So I'm telling the Dutch that these fleets are anti-Spain.
Okay.
That we can work together against Spain, and that's why I'm pushing that direction. And yes, I am building a third fleet in Tavoy, but that's because Army Tavoy isn't that great of a unit, so it's pretty understandable to make.
Is the
Um,
claim like, oh yeah, like these two are grabbing like udon and the extra build is or udon and
yeah,
pegu, you know?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Nakansi is going to Natuna to attack Cotabato. Ayutthaya is going to Udon to take that, and then the army is going north. And Tavoy is probably grabbing Pegu. Yeah.
Yeah, in the
Um,
world where you're not putting two in Malacca Street immediately.
right, right. And it's I think it's decently believable. Now, of course, the Dutch, despite the pressure on them elsewhere, drop five fleets in the theater regardless.
Oh, interesting. They
Uh,
disbanded they disbanded Ryukyu and rebuilt Formosa.
yeah.
Okay.
So the Dutch are clearly going to stay invested here, but Mughal builds no fleets. Ming builds one fleet, but it's up in Peking. Um,
Wow.
and Portugal builds a fleet. Um, and England builds a fleet and an army. So while I'm not, thrilled about the Dutch's builds, I think that I can still attack them anyway and get away with it because of the state of the board.
Where did Dutch wave?
Probably not very many places because a lot of their dots were covered. Like
Right.
Amsterdam was covered.
So their double would have
Uh,
been 28 and they blew up Formosa. So effectively Formosa was covered.
yeah,
And they lost Great Ardra, so that's the second dot covered. And New Amsterdam was covered.
yep.
And
Utrecht
Amsterdam was
rebuilt it.
taken.
Yep.
Oh, so they literally built on every home center. That's why they built in Formosa.
Yeah. So again, I wasn't thrilled about it, but I wasn't like highly worried about it either.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Okay, is this even worth looking at? Atha goes +1, they're dead. Uh,
France builds four armies.
EF builds. Yeah, really like that. F Falmouth. Oh yeah. A St. Augustine. Ooh. Yeah, that's kind of
Yes,
cool.
obviously, yeah, I'm paying a lot of attention to Spain, of course, because Spain is one of my secondary neighbors.
Mhm.
But it's pretty clear to me that she's going to get into a lot of fights that aren't me, and I especially hope that once it's clear that I'm going to be clashing with the Dutch, that she'll just want to stay the heck out of that, or join in against the Dutch. That I wouldn't mind that either. But at the very least, not attack me, and instead use the Philippines for going into the North Pacific and stuff like that.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, these builds are looking very normal. Sweden's only +2.
Yeah, and
F
Sweden builds.
Kharkov, F Trebizond, F Tehran. Wow. F Constantinople. Okay, Russia's cooked.
Yeah, Russia is definitely in trouble. They're in a lot of fights.
Yeah. Okay.
And it looks like Sophabit's about to join in with um, the Caspian build. Speaking of, oh, actually, one interesting thing that did happen during retreats, funnily enough,
Mhm.
is that Russia chose to retreat into Ostrakhan. You can also see it, the result on the build map, of course.
Oh.
Russia retreated into Ostrakhan instead of disbanding, rebuilding. And they did this to reassure Safavid they would not be building a Caspian fleet.
Punished.
And Safavid said, "Thanks, Russia. I'll build a Caspian fleet."
Yeah.
So essentially, Safavid stabs Russia here too. So, and these builds from Ottoman are pretty. Well, actually, no. Ottoman. I'm pretty sure Ottoman stabbed. Yeah, they're in Kabardia. They obviously stabbed. So Russia has 5 enemies now, I think.
Russia SAF, Poland attacked year one, Sweden attacked year one, and Ming supported Qing in.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Qing didn't take it, so they're not fighting Qing,
Yeah,
but
they're
they are odds with Ming.
yeah. Yeah, it's not a good sign. Cool. Um
And I'm
okay.
building fleets to stay out of that mess.
Yeah, it sounds absolutely great. I don't know, your position just seems very clean, like, very enviable. Oh, and the thing I wanted to look at. Army Fort Dauphin. Yeah, I'm Glosson saying yeah, it's really good. It is. I really like this build. Um,
Well, yeah, because Madagascar is just French now.
yeah,
They
it's
go to Bara, and what does anyone else do?
you go to Bara, you sit there, you get to put 2 on Sakalava and fall, so no one ever takes it from you. Any convoy into you is just completely dead forevermore. And, if things look good enough, you get to convoy the unit off into Delagoa or Mapondo or Cape Co later on, and, you know, there's more builds.
Oh, it's kind of like a mini version of my position, right? They get the dot, and they don't have to bother anyone else.
Yep.
If other people bother them, they're in for a bad time. Just all the options are open.
Yeah, they don't have to make any enemies to make progress in the position. And
Yeah.
no one should want to make enemies with them given this position. Also, like a Delagoa here, a Moravi, it doesn't seem like Portugal is really gearing up for a fight with France.
No, which makes sense because they just picked a fight with Mughal and with Dutch, and with
Savas not happy with them either.
yep. Oh, they're fighting Safavid too.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at year two. Do you want to tell us what you're thinking about here?
Yeah. So I basically follow up on the plan that I kind of hinted at last winter,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm going to be friends with both Mughal and Ming, while stabbing the Dutch. And I do just that. I support myself into Malacca Strait. They do a self bounce there, which is countered by my support.
Yep.
I also move into Riau. Um, the Dutch move in on Spain, but Spain counters that because Spain's the one who's actually my ally.
Yep.
And so I make sure they're good to go there. Lots of other bounces with Portugal. Let's see.
Yeah, it seems like Dutch don't have any friends locally.
Uh, no, they don't. And I knew they wouldn't. So
Yeah, like
um,
surely Java to Tengara is not arranged. Like,
yeah, no. Um, and then up north, um, I believe that I'm doing a support hold on Mughal,
Mhm.
which I told Ming I was going to be doing.
Okay.
Right, because um, so I'm trying to get along with both these guys, but they don't especially trust each other, and Ming especially wants to stab Mughal.
Okay.
And I tell Ming, hey, I'm in no position to pick a fight with Mughal this year. If you want to attack them, you can. Just as heads up, though, I'm support holding Bamo because I told Mughal I would.
Okay.
So if you want to attack Mughal, you should do it in some other way. And Ming does. They just send all their armies west and go around.
Yeah.
Um, which is fantastic for me. So now Ming and Mughal are fighting, but I'm allied with both of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm telling both of them my moves, and they're both cool with it. Um,
That is such a good place to be.
Meanwhile, Portugal has two fleets, and they're sending them after the Dutch. And I am leaving Ming alone. And I've had good relations with Portugal this game, minus them, not really following up on some of the things they agreed.
The Holden Hainan.
So I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna core Don King. I'm just gonna sit here and core. I tell Portugal that the core is gonna be used to stab Ming next year.
Mhm.
I tell Ming the core is gonna be used to stab Portugal next year. I haven't actually made up my mind yet. The core works either way. Heck, I could even be friends with both of them and use it to build fleets against Spain later. Like, the important thing is I need more cores so that I have options because, again, the longer the game goes, the less useful my starting cores are going to be just because of how kind of far away they'll be from the theaters of expansion.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you're at like 20, 25 dots, and you building these units in like Ayutthaya, Sukhothai, it's like multiple years for them to get out anywhere useful. It's just so
Yeah.
painful.
Whereas Don King, oh my gosh, Don King is an incredible core for IU.
Yeah.
If I want to go into China, fantastic. If I want more fleets to go after Portugal or Spain or even Toku, like, Don King paired with Udong is so much better for building fleets than what? Ayutthaya and East Coast Nakan Sea?
Yeah.
It's
I
just so much faster.
You're definitely going to get a lot of use out of that core.
Oh yeah, it is so important if I want to go anywhere eastward.
Okay. Is there anything else that's pretty interesting that you want to talk about elsewhere on the board, or should we move to fall?
Um, I'm just working off of memory here, so I'm trying to remember what else was happening at this time. Athapaska is getting killed. The EF is still a thing.
Yep.
Um, let's see. Anything odd going on in South America? Um, Poland and Spain are
Or
working together.
yep. Anti
Um,
Netherlands. Oh, this is kind of fun.
oh, Aymara's getting coalitioned.
Yeah. Yep.
Which I also played a smallish role, or at the very least, this aligned with the press I was doing. So Aymara was doing the least press with me out of the South American regionals.
Mhm.
Guarani, of course, was part of the Information Alliance. And Mapuche and I bonded pretty early. So I encouraged Mapuche and Guarani to team up. Uh, and they did. So there's these winners in multiple theaters that I have good relationships with. Um, the one exception being Africa, where I'm kind of on good terms with all of them, and they're all kind of in this big free for all.
Yeah. It looks like Otteron and Ottomans are back to working together against Abyssinia this phase.
Yeah, it's like one of the lines has changed like almost every turn. Africa is just a thunderdome. The whole continent is.
Okay,
Oh, let's
and
see.
then
Soph and Ottoman are still working together.
Sweden is
Sweden
trying to
backs up.
peace Russia.
Yeah, Sweden is trying to peace Russia, and Russia is not having it.
Okay.
Because remember, Russia is Olbafet, and when you hit her, she hits back really hard, whether you want to piece her out or not. She is going to send a message here. I don't know if that's a good play, um, but it definitely makes it clear that Russia will react if you stab her year one.
Yeah, all wars are death wars, you know. Um, but yeah, here Uzgen gets popped. That's brutal.
Yep, Caspian gets walked into. Oh, she's also pushing against Ming because Ming was one of the people who stabbed her year one, and so he's gonna get punished for it.
Yep.
Or at least Russia will try. Ming does support Qing and Togobi, as Qing also pushes up toward Russia. So Russia might have a sixth enemy soon.
Yeah, it does look like a total collapse of the Russian position at this point. Like, Russia feels so fragile. Like, there's so many people who can work together against you, and once a certain number of them do, the dinner bell begins ringing.
Yeah, every power kind of benefits different play styles. And I've seen Starcat's playstyle work very well in other games.
Mhm.
Obviously, she had a great track record to be here in the first place.
Absolutely.
But as Russia, um, I feel like it benefits to have a more flexible diplomatic situation and to be able to get out of conflicts quickly because otherwise it can pile up very fast outside of your control.
Yeah.
And as you can see in the fall, she actually does start to shift toward a more flexible approach. She pieces out with Ming here,
Yeah.
decides that she's not going to Death War Ming over that support, and in turn gets a Ming support hold against Qing.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty interesting commit here because so far these guys have all been very buddy buddy. What is happening here? Oh my god.
Yeah, where do you want to start? I started with the Russia stuff, but there's a lot.
Maybe let's start with you actually, because
Yeah, so for me, I finished coring Donkin,
Yep.
which everyone's cool with.
Yep.
Um, or if they aren't cool with it, they don't say much because they have got better things to worry about. I support hold Bamo, and tell both Mughal and Ming that I'm going to be support holding Bamo.
Hmm.
I get Pegu, I get Udong, I take Ase, which I believe was guaranteed
Yeah.
with this moveset. Yeah. Um, the Dutch try to snipe Sambas, but I block that.
Yep.
Um, the Spanish and Dutch do peace out, which is concerning. Spain's coring Cotabato. They move a fleet to Palawan. Um, the Dutch mostly move away from them.
Ugh.
But the one saving grace here is that Spain stabs Toku.
Yeah.
They took Bonin, and I think they try to snap this. I think they try to snipe Udo as well.
Ah, yeah, they do.
But Toku counters it. Um, but yeah, Spain piecing out the Dutch is worrisome to me. But the fact that they immediately have another enemy makes it not too bad for my purposes.
Yeah, makes sense. If they're already playing to capacity and their enemies, you're not at risk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Portugal and Dutch are still fighting. Mapuche closes in fleets, which is fine. Mapuche is my buddy.
Yep.
Um, that's pretty much Oceania. What's going on in India? Um, the England walks into Cuttack. Um, they do lose Raja Mahendri, so they can only build one this year.
Yep. That makes sense.
But they do have Portugal as an ally, and Safavid is also invading Mughal. They got 2 units coming in from the west, and they support Ming into Yarkand.
And Mughal walks out of the dot and Surat to cover Ahmedabad.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a sad one.
And this is very rough because Mughal is a player that I have a good rapport with,
Mhm.
and allied with very early on. Mughal's been great to me. They went straight after England. They left Pegu and Andaman alone. Those are definitely the sorts of things that you want to reward and encourage.
Yeah.
But Mughal is now at war with all of their neighbors, and there's basically nothing I can do to help them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. They're worried
they're
with England, Portugal, Safavids, and Ming, and that's too many.
yeah. So basically the possibility of a long-term alliance with Mughal is basically starting to fall off the table at this point.
Yeah.
Um, and I start seriously considering, you know, maybe I should stab them in some fashion. Because they're going to die either way. and it's just going to come down to who's getting their dots.
Yeah, makes sense.
So when Ming starts being like, "Hey, I really want to work together against Mughal and Portugal in year 3. Can we start doing that?" I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? I think I can. I think it's probably time for me to stab Mughal."
Yep, makes a lot of sense.
And that, yeah, that's my local stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Anything else that's super interesting? I don't know. Maybe we can look at the scoreboard to see if anything crazy has happened.
yes, we'll need to move to the retreat phase though in order to get the update.
Yeah, so it's clear EF at the top of the scoreboard. The
Oh
Dutch
yeah.
are giga dead, 20 dots.
Ottoman Safavid are also a duo. So there's these two duos
Yeah,
that are just kicking butt together. England, France, and Otto Safavid.
+5 Ottomans, +4 Safavids. It's so nice.
Oh yeah, no, it's a really strong alliance so far in this game. And then Spain is also in the top 5. Um, Spain, Spain and Portugal, I guess, is another duo. I don't think they've been fighting anywhere. Um, yeah, Iberia is just empty. So, but yeah, the top 6 are 3 duos of players, and then I'm number 7.
Yeah, 11 as C's as a 4 center regional is the best anyone has in the sport, and I think it's really good. All right, +3 in year 2.
Oh yeah, I'm really happy with this position.
And you have
Um,
like very clear follow up as well, right? Like Palembang, maybe a dot off Mughals this year, depending on how things go. It's hard to know exactly, and maybe a dot off Portugal as well.
yes, and Portugal, despite being in a strong position, remember how I have this information sharing alliance with a bunch of regionals,
Yep.
and also constantly chat with almost everyone on the board.
Yes.
Um, and how that tipped me off to all the pressure the Dutch were going to be under during the first 2 years.
Yep.
Well, I start getting a whole bunch of hints that Portugal is going to be in a very bad time in the very near future. Um, so knowing this, I am definitely eyeing those Portuguese dots because I suspect that they will not be able to do anything about it. And that also they're going to be so distracted elsewhere that they won't be an especially useful ally with Ming. Again, sorry, a useful ally against Ming, even if I do try to continue working with them. So
Yeah.
as you can see, there's no build in Macau. They are talking for a while about building an army in Macau, but they decide just not to build anything at all because they have other priorities. And I'm like, okay, well,
Yep.
they're going to be under tender pressure. They won't be able to help me much against anyone. Um, I may want to join in on the action.
Yeah, and it just looks like another year where you have a couple of clean builds without making anyone upset who matters.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm planning on fighting the Dutch still, who we never had a great relationship. I'm planning on stabbing Mughal and Portugal, who are both in huge trouble. And we can see from the moves, that's exactly what happens. I walk into Hainan, I get supported into Bamo, I send 2 more armies up toward Mughal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Dutch, of course, are ready for me, and they do have a ton of fleets. It's not an easy fight, fighting the Dutch as a regional. And I think they block. I get into Bonka. I think they block everything else.
Yes.
So yeah, no real progress against the Dutch. But again, this was always going to be a possibility, right? If they keep on building here and not disbanding fleets, it's going to be a bit of a grind. And that's another reason why I decide to stab Mughal at this point, because that way I can afford to stall against the Dutch a bit, but keep growing anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you're gonna get a dot
Uh,
off of Hainan this year as well, guaranteed.
yep. Now, one thing does go wrong for me locally,
Mhm.
and that is England and Mughal peace out.
Yes.
Um, which I actually I'm actually given a bit of a heads up on. Um, it is both Mughal and no, Mughal tells me this. England doesn't. Um, but it actually contributes even more to me stabbing Mughal because if they ally with England here, um, that's well, that's not great for me in the long run. That
Yeah.
means England's eventually going to come after me. Um, whereas if I kill Mughal, I can just replace them as England's ally.
Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Um,
Like if Mughals and England are allied long term, like the England cores here have nowhere else to go but east.
exactly. And yeah, England coring Katak is very worrisome. So yeah, unfortunately, Mughal has to die um, at this stage.
Yep, makes sense.
Um, and so yeah, I'm working with Ming against Mughal. Um, Portugal is still fighting them. Safavid's still fighting them. Like they're still screwed either way. I just have to make sure they're screwed in a way that doesn't hurt me. Um, Wanted to be their long-term ally this game, but the first 2 years just didn't set it up as feasible at all.
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense. The board position is just not there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's always the tricky balance, right? Because I am a big relationship player in diplomacy. I think it's very important, especially in IMTIP. But you have to have that balance between building and maintaining those long-term relationships that this have seen a lot of success on this board. All the top powers are these really strong duos.
Mm-hmm.
But also knowing when it's not worth it anymore, as Safavid seems to have concluded by going all in and stabbing Ottoman here.
This is a nice two dot stab.
Uh, yeah, they're getting Kabardia. There's pressure on Kharkov, pressure on Tiflis. Um, do they have the Persian Gulf?
They have three
Uh,
on Tiflis. They do not have anything in Persian Gulf. They will also get Baghdad this year,
yeah.
and they will
And they
also get
have
Riyadh.
yeah.
It's
So
a
this is a
four dot.
huge stab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So one of the duels is breaking up, but it's a very strong stab and has a very clear winner. Which is mostly fine with me, right? Like as Ayutthaya, a strong Safavid is far from the worst thing.
Yeah, you're really not
And
competing over VSCC with Safavid.
yeah, and they can kind of replace Russia as the big power on the other side of Ming and Mughal.
Yeah. Yeah, makes
Um,
sense.
yeah, so I'm not too unhappy to see this. The EF is sticking together. And what's the other big duo? Portugal and Spain. Oh yes, is this the turn where? Well, how's Portugal doing everywhere else?
Portugal
Um,
is getting Formosa. They're losing Hainan. England, sorry, England. Netherlands is walking into their stuff in Indonesia. Ajan is stabbing them.
yep. Congo's also stabbing them.
Yeah, I mean, Congo took Rhodes off them last year, so it's just been open
So
war.
Congo's also fighting them at least.
Yeah. St. Helena's being taken as well. They've walked out of Ualata for whatever reason. I guess they were worried about France walking in.
Yep. So
Um,
Ottoman stabs them.
but they're not going to be able to hold that. Uh, Portugal can take that dot back.
Oh, look at this convoy in West Africa.
West
Um,
Africa convoy.
yeah, Cabo Verde to Geba.
Oh, they support instead of convoying. Oh
Yep,
no.
they misordered the convoy. Um,
Oh.
yeah, that's really bad. There are actually there were a surprising number of misordered convoys this game. You'll spot them from time to time.
They're losing
It's
Puri as well. They've lost
yeah,
Kongag and they're losing Nakugu. Yeah, Portugal is so dead.
yeah, because Grani is also stabbing them. And
Yeah.
remember, Grani is the is part of the Info Alliance
Okay,
with me.
okay. Yeah. So it seems like there's some coordination you guys are doing from this crazy cross map info alliance. Maybe not these
Uh,
two. They're not helping with Portugal, but
no, but they are sending any information they get our way.
yeah.
So if anyone talks to Sweden or Oot, about Portugal, it goes to me and Guarani.
Okay. Do you want to talk about anything else on this map, or do you want to look at next map?
Um, yeah, let's go to fall.
Okay. What's happening?
All right, so starting at home, I support Ming into Macau, so Portugal loses their entire colony there.
Mm-hmm.
They do get Formosa. What's going on? Oh, it's because Spain is the one person who's still actually allied with Portugal.
Yeah.
So they do get a bit of help there. But Portugal and Formosa isn't exactly a huge threat to me. Plus, I also am myself allied with Spain. Um, and move into Luzon Strait. A whole bunch of people tell me I should dot Manila here, but I am not interested at all in picking a fight with Spain in this position. And this just builds up my relationship with Spain even more. Just walking past their core to go fight other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and Spain similarly does not finish the core in Cotabato. They bounce themselves in Sulu instead. So this is, a great turn for the IU Spain relationship.
Oh, they actually canceled the core last phase.
Oh, did they just bounce twice? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But
but
yeah,
you know,
same deal. Yeah.
same net result. Basically, they didn't finish the core, and we're still friends.
Oh my gosh. And you're getting supported into Bama by Ming, and you're taking Kolkata.
Yes.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Kabu falls. Uh, let's see. The England finishes the Katak core. Um, Mughal takes Goa. Oh, so yeah, Portugal. Oh, England stabs Portugal here.
Yep.
So, Portugal is. Oh, and I think it's yeah, Maldives falls.
Yeah, Portugal is
So
completely friendless. Goa, Bellari,
yeah,
both gone. It's just a disaster time. Portugal is out of the game. That's what it is. Portugal is just out of the
yeah.
game.
But England is ascendant. England has another core in India now.
Yeah.
They have Bellari. Um, they have Mughal, who is basically their vassal at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
Mughals are like never building again, right? Like they're getting stabbed by you, by Ming, by Safavid. They're fighting Portugal. Um,
yeah, and basically the main thing I need to ensure at this point is that England does not attack me.
yep.
That they basically let me fight Mughal, and put any builds, either as armies or as fleets that are going firmly south. Though really, at this point, I'm pressuring England pretty hard to not build fleets.
Yeah, makes
Be
sense.
like, hey, you could just have, mainland India, kill Portugal, kill Mughal. We have the super clean zone between us.
Yeah.
Like, once England moves the fleet out of Bay of Bengal, there's just this big dead zone that makes it a real pain in the butt for either of us to attack each other. Um, which makes us supernatural allies if England doesn't side with Mughal against me.
Yeah. Like it's very hard for either of you to put like you can walk from Andaman Islands into Surkar Coast or something, but like how do you support yourself into a dot? It's just not a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So England is a big ally at the moment. Spain is a big ally at the moment. England and Spain do not like each other, so they're constantly, encouraging me to attack the other. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. I'm telling both of them that I will, but I need to defeat the Dutch first. And in fairness, I feel that's pretty reasonable. That I need to take the Dutch out of Oceania, and then I can pivot into either Spain or England at that time.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's if you're playing a 4SC, there's only so much you can do in terms of, attacking many people at once at the beginning of a game.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I have those two allies, and then I'm allied with Ming on the mainland. Though there is a bit of a problem with Ming,
Okay.
and that is the fact that they want Bamo next year. They want Bamo and they want more Mughal dots.
Yep.
Um, which the good part of that is, hey, I've got an ally against Mughal. The bad part of that is, oh, if I keep fighting Mughal, I'm getting literally nothing out of it.
Yeah.
Because Ming wants the dots.
It's always a very interesting time when someone says, "Hey, we're allies. Can I have one of your dots next year?" Uh,
Yeah. Um, and you know, I have had a good rapport with Ming. And again, you know, I am broadly speaking an alliance player. There's a lot of this game has showcased a lot of the strengths of alliance play thus far.
yeah.
However, it does need to be practical and feasible. So I'm analyzing this position, and I'm like, okay, if I stay allied with Ming, how does that work with me for me? I lose Bamo. I basically don't get any more growth in India. I don't get any more growth in China. I basically need to stab England or Spain immediately
Yep.
in order to keep growing and basically be super heavy fleet.
Yes.
Can I win like that with Ming? And also can Ming win with me? Because you know if I'm building all fleets, um, Ming has to find their VSCC elsewhere, or they're coming after me eventually. And I'm looking at Ming's position, um, and you know they have this really strong Safavid next to them.
Hmm.
They are fighting Qing. They are fighting Toku. So Ming is fighting all of their neighbors except for Safavid right now.
Yeah.
And I guess Russia sort of, or Russia's dying.
And I guess I don't know what happened in spring. Safvid is taking Yarkand from Ming. Is that arranged?
Um, yeah, because yeah, that was arranged. Ming just walks out.
Okay.
So Ming is very clearly like trying to be. Yeah, so they walk out and they get supported back into Kabul.
Right. Right. Okay. I guess that's the trade, right? Safvid gets the
Yeah.
dot. Ming takes the position.
So you know, Ming has definitely been reliable so far. So they definitely have that going for them. But in terms of long-term alliance, I see a hard time. I have a hard time seeing them continuing to grow substantially
Yeah.
at not my expense.
Right.
And I'm seeing a hard time for me to grow substantially at not their expense.
Yes.
And on top of that, there's also a timer involved because if we take a look at the retreats phase with the updated scoreboard, we can see how everyone's doing globally at the moment.
Uh,
Oh, there's an EF at 3635 at the end of 44.
yeah.
And Safavid is going crazy,
Safvid went +5.
plus five.
Ottomans went +2 even with the stab. What on earth happened in fall moves?
They stabbed Portugal. Oh, and they stabbed Abyssinia too.
Okay, they take Hawara. They lose Riyadh, Baghdad,
They take
Kabardia.
Rome.
Oh,
They
they
take
don't.
Rome. They take Pressburg.
Oh my god.
So
Okay.
Ottoman. So yeah. So you ever see the situations where someone gets stabbed, and in order to stay positive, they stab literally everyone else
Yep.
except for the person who just stabbed them.
Yep.
That's Ottoman's response to this.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I'm getting stabbed by Saf. I'm going to click every stab button I can, go +2, and make sure I build against this thing. They convoy the unit back. They just convoyed this unit. I think this is Fiend. Fiend just convoyed this unit
Yep.
from Trebizond to Bakhchisarai. Fall straight back.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's the strategy the Ottoman player decided to employ.
yep.
We'll see. We'll see how it works for them in the long run. In the short term, they do go positive, despite the Safavid stab. They're also at war with literally everybody, but they went +2.
It's so hard to evaluate. Like, if you don't stab anyone, maybe you just die. Uh, but if you do stab everyone, maybe you still just die.
Oh yeah, it's certainly not an enviable position, uh, but
Yeah.
you know, we've seen the call they made. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Spain is
They're
also stabbing Portugal this phase. So we were talking about how Spain and Portugal were a strong duo for this whole thing, but no longer.
Oh yes, they stab in the fall. Yep.
Yeah.
So Spain sees the writing on the wall, kind of like I did with Mughal. They realize that their buddy is dying, and they want to be the one who gets the dots.
Yeah. Oh my god. Look at this. Cape Co and Mapondo taking this turn.
Oh, take a look at the Portuguese delta. The how much they've
29.
changed.
16? They went minus 13?
Minus 13 Portugal.
God. What do you even
Uh,
do?
I think the Dutch went down quite a bit. The Dutch went down -3, I think.
I mean, minus 3 is already pretty bad. Oh, they went plus 1?
Did they go? Oh, that was the previous year. Where did they go
Yeah.
+1 in it? I
What are
guess
they getting?
they probably also stopped Portugal.
Yeah, they stabbed Portugal for 2, Florissant to more. They lose Ceylon to Portugal and Formosa to Portugal. So we're neutral versus Portugal. They get Cormanton back.
Oh, they lose San Sebastião
Yeah, to
in South America.
Portugal.
Oh, so the Dutch and Portugal are just killing each other.
They get
But the Dutch go
Kalina.
slightly positive anyway.
What's happening here? They're not taking St. Martin off of Aeolus.
Oh yes. Um, this was something I noticed. So around this time of the game, France and England kind of like conclude that the Dutch are dead and begin kind of like semi-vassalizing, just like kind of like slow walking their demise.
Okay, they're just like, yeah, this St. Martin unit or this St. Martin dot, it's like funding some unit in Africa that's doing stuff that I don't like, that doesn't bug me, right? Like it bugs other people.
Yeah. So this only encourages me to kill the Dutch faster because I'm like, crap, they're becoming a vassal of the EF.
Yeah,
That is not good for me.
that is
There's
frightening.
I cannot fight the EF in any capacity. So I need to kill the Dutch and make sure that they get killed elsewhere. Um, because the EF are strong enough as it is.
Yeah, makes sense. Spooky stuff. Spooky stuff.
Um, but yes, the reason why I was brought us to the scoreboard in the first place is the fact that I'm under a time limit. I can't just long play ally with Ming and make something work because there's these really fast growing powers that I can't really slow down in any capacity directly. And if anything, they're only accelerating.
Yeah, and we were talking about you playing Ayu, which is a power that does not tend to win early games. So like you're under even more pressure to like hit the pedal to the metal as hard as you can
Yeah,
to
exactly.
not fall behind. Because like, you can play your great game or whatever, but if you're at 20 dots or 23 dots and it's like 1648, you're just gonna get cut.
Yeah, I need to get to around 25, which is where I start becoming a blocker.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that doesn't seem compatible with staying allied with Ming.
Yep. Makes sense. So how does that turn up in bills?
Let's take a look.
Double army and then fleet udon, yeah.
Yep. So I drop 2 armies. Um, I tell Ming that Sughotai is going west, and that Dong King is a defensive army because I'm sending all my armies after Mughal, and I want to leave just one around my homeland, so it's not just completely empty.
And they buy this?
Um, yeah. Well, I also tell them that I tell them that here's the deal we make. Um, we're going to trade Bamo for Macau.
Okay.
So he gets Bamo,
Yeah.
I get Macau. We each keep what's the word? Oh, and I'm also going to give him Formosa. I'm going to support the Macau fleet into Formosa.
Okay.
So basically, clean up our border a bit.
Yeah.
And try to set up for a long-term thing, which if I was playing a long-term game, I might actually do. Unfortunately, I don't feel that I can play a super long-term game with Ming.
Yep.
So I plan to actually let him into Bamo, but to walk into Kunming behind him.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, I'm very
Um,
curious how this is going to play out.
Also, Ming builds 2 fleets um, because he's at war with Toku.
Yep.
Um, Notably, Ming starts getting really paranoid around this time about me, especially once I build the army Dong King.
Yeah.
So the way I counter this is I tell absolutely nobody about this stab.
Okay, yeah.
I tell everyone that I'm still allied with Ming.
Yeah.
Um, and Ming like relays this to me, especially his chats with Safavid. He's chatting with Safavid a bunch, but both Ming and Safavid think that I'm staying allied with Ming.
Yeah.
Um, which it would be really nice to have Safavid attacking Ming at the same time I was, but I think that if I tell Safavid this, it's just going to go straight to Ming.
Yeah, and there's
And
nothing
so
really directly you can coordinate on. So, you know.
yeah, it would mostly just be making sure Ming doesn't get any builds.
Right. You could be like, oh well, try to like dot cobble or whatever. But like they're gonna see in spring anyways, yeah. They'll get the memo.
Yeah, and I think I don't even tell Moogle. Like I just complete operational secrecy.
Yeah.
No one can know that I'm stabbing Ming here.
And like I
Um,
mean, what's Moogle gonna do about it at this point? They've disbanded Bhutan, they're disbanding Hyderabad, like they're just sacking this to England. Like,
oh yeah, no, Moogle is just giving India to England, um, which is not great for me. But England's building all armies, so it's not awful for me either. Like I feel that I can work with England if I can keep up with England.
yeah. Yeah, like you can hit VSCC without Indian possessions, right? That's perfectly fine and normal. So as long as they're not saying, well, I want your stuff as part of my VSCC and or I need to cut you to get, to the end, then it feels fine.
Right, exactly. And so my current plan is to try to work with um, England, France, and whoever wins between Safavid and Ottoman. Um, I think, and possibly Spain too. And also, Ut Inuit have been allied all game. And I'm like, okay, I can also win with one of them. Whoever comes out on top of there, if they stay allied, probably neither of them reaches it if the game goes at the pace I'm expecting. But if one of them stabs the other, I can totally win with them probably.
No way, right? Because, like, with this EF, there's no way they can stab each other, surely.
Which is fair, but also like they're probably not going. Neither of them's probably going to win if that's the case. Which is it's kind of a tough dilemma, right? Like, how do you how do you how do you win as Ut and Inuit in this position?
How do you win? Yeah, what would I do if I was here? You just can't allow EF to exist long term, right? Because if EF is just locked in place long term, you're stuck on side with Inuit, and neither of you can hit VSCC in this world. So, like, I think everything depends on getting one of them to flip on the other.
Um, from their position, I'd agree. From my position, from all my chats with the Colonials and with my Info Alliance, I'm seeing no cracks in the EF. Like
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing every indication that they plan on taking this all the way. And so I feel like I have to play
Yeah.
with the expectation that I'm going to be impunitying with an EF because they're both gonna reach 100%, and I need to make it easier to win with me than to cut me.
Yeah, I mean the Caribbean is already over at this point. Army Belize is crazy. Um, yeah, like this is gonna be red and blue, and Inuit's gonna be gone for sure. Spain is gonna die. It's just, it's just EF. They're doing EF things.
Yeah, and the nice thing for me too is that if they do break up, me playing along with it doesn't really harm me either way. By having a strategy that expects an EF to go all the way, whether they actually do or not, works either way.
Yeah, you just
I
need
just
to play an up-tempo game, right? And like
yeah
you can play as an up-tempo of a game as you want, and no one will be like, "Oh my God, Ayutthaya is so scary, Coalition Ayutthaya," because there's a freaking EF running the board. Like,
yeah no exactly no I am the I'm the background character of this drama. The no one who care no one cares about me. I guess the Dutch really don't like me, but the Dutch are also like
the Dutch are
down to
here
21. Yeah,
next to Tokugawa on the scoreboard. Yeah,
and remember this is 1644 builds. This game hasn't been going on very long.
it's a brand new game. All right, do you want to look at spring?
Let's do it.
Okay, so you do the thing we were talking about. You walk out of.
I walk out of Bamo, and I backfill Ming, in Kunming.
Oh, fun. And England supports you into Sassurum here.
Yep. So I do convince England to stab Mughal here and not keep them as a vassal.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be correct, surely, right? They have free Raj, free Hyderabad.
Oh yeah, and a bunch of armies with nothing else to do.
They're going to get Ceylon and Cochin. Yeah. Yeah, but you just get to win India, like full win India off this play.
Yeah, and I'm getting Macau, I'm getting Kunming, and I can take Bamo back.
Yes, and you're in every dot. So, oh wow, okay. And you do this thing where you walk back into Hainan so that you can force Macau here. Okay, so you're
Yep.
getting Macau, you're getting Kunming, you are not losing Bamo, and you're getting Sassuram. So you're +3 on this side of things. And what's going on here? You're getting Banjarmasin, and you should get Palembang this year as well.
Um, yeah, I think so. Because I've got a bunch of fleets on it. I got one, two, three, four fleets on it.
Yeah, this is such a nice game, and it's like exactly the pace that you need to hit to have a
Right, that's the thing.
chance.
I have to do this or I lose.
Yeah.
Um, Now there is one very important thing that happens though.
Hmm.
One one thing that goes wrong that's extremely subtle,
Okay.
and it's a consequence of me not coordinating with anyone against Ming.
Okay.
It's in the north somewhere.
Okay. So
Can
one
you
thing
see the
I've
one?
noticed is we're not forcing Kabul.
That's true.
We're
Yeah,
not taking
Safavid and Ming.
Turfan.
Yep, Safavid and Ming are still allied.
Yeah.
That's an important one. There's another thing too that's also very important.
Okay. So like people should be stabbing people who should be stabbing Ming but aren't.
It's actually a consequence of someone fighting Ming.
Oh,
Take a
okay.
look at take a look at the Qing Ming border.
Yeah, so there's a pop in Huh?
Yep, that Qing army is destroyed, and look at the Ming army. Is it Laodong? Is that what it's called? It's kind of hard to see.
Lanzhou?
No,
Oh,
to the east.
Lao Dong? Okay. I'm gonna butcher every pronunciation. But yeah, that
Yeah,
also gets that's not popped. It can retreat to Peking.
yes, it retreats to Peking, which puts another army next to Chengdu.
Oh, okay. So you're not gonna be able to walk free into Chengdu.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Because Ming, if Ming did not have that retreat, Chengdu would be wide open. There would be one army next to it in Renpengpa.
Yeah, and Ringpungpa is really not an army that can go take Chengdu without a lot of guesses, because you have two on Ringpungpa as well.
Right, because Himalayas, empty. Um, East, it's fleets.
Yeah.
Xi'an, empty. Shangzi, bounced in.
Yeah,
If it
it's
wasn't for that one army retreating to Peking, Chengdu, the Chinese core would be just wide open to me.
yeah, absolutely. That is actually kind of sad. Uh,
Oh no, it's and it requires all these moves too, because it also requires Ming to get the Peking fleet onto Yellow Sea successfully. Like it's just this weird combination of moves that just happen sort of by happenstance. But I can't influence because I can't tell anyone that I'm stabbing Ming.
Yeah, if you tell Qing you're stabbing Ming, do they leak?
Probably
It's not
not.
obvious that they're fighting. Like this is a bunch of like defensive Qing support holds, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like Ming Toku War. Yeah, there's no way to read this, or I wouldn't read this that like you could safely tell Qing.
Yeah. But that army in Peking is going to have a huge impact on the next several years. Um, because it means that just having an extra army to slow me down is a huge deal.
Yeah, yeah. You know, once there's one army there, you have to start like supporting yourself into stuff. All that. Um, versus like how fast can my units walk?
Right, exactly. And if that army wasn't there, my units could walk pretty darn fast. In fact, did I guarantee Rin Pengpa this if there wasn't? I don't know.
You could guarantee Rin Pengpa, but you couldn't do it without also not guaranteeing. Yeah, you would support yourself into Rin, and then you would support yourself into Bamo. And the
Well, no,
way,
because he's in Bamo, and I'd have an army in Bhutan and Kunming, but Bamo could tap either one. So I
yeah,
don't think I have a guaranteed attack.
Bamo could tap Kunming, and then yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a 50-50 on which guy gets tapped, and then he'll lose Bamo again, but you have a 50-50 in Rin.
Yeah, but the important thing is I don't break his front line.
Yeah.
I don't get behind him.
Okay. Do you want to look at
Uh,
anything else this phase?
um, those are the things that are on my mind the most. Is things going great against the Dutch, Ming, and Mughal, but this one caveat that's going to be very important moving forward.
Yeah. We'll watch the unit. Elsewhere, it's still Inuit. EF is going strong, just slowly getting position. They lose Cherokee because Ute and Spain are working together. Except, is this an arranged trade of dots? It might be an arranged trade of dots.
Yes, I think Oot Spain are still working together. It's basically Inuit Oot Spain against EF and like Toku, I think.
Okay. Um, Ute Spain. Okay, and then we're clearing anti France. Yep, makes sense. Guarani and Puche still allied.
Yep.
And okay, Ajuran is stabbing Congo here. Yeah, and Congo read this one like a book. I remember this phase.
Yep. Yet another African alliance is changing every single turn.
Yeah, and look at this. So like, look at this crazy stab Ajuran has on Abyssinia here. Dinka Oromo Sidoma Ausa Majirtin while they convoy the Abyssinians into Kathiri.
Oh yeah.
Just
Yeah,
absolutely.
very nice stab by Audron, but unfortunately, they now don't have a Congo ally anymore.
Yep.
Well, at least for now. Maybe it'll change next year.
Interesting situation here. So, okay, Russian Ottomans have made up, I think, is what's happening.
Yes, which makes sense because they're both hyper screwed.
Okay, Fiend, what are you doing, man?
Um,
Just, you,
Stabbing Spain, I guess.
yeah, he just gets to retreat into Sicily. He's not covering Sicily. So, like, if this move succeeds, like, he loses the dot.
Well, this is a spring move, right?
Oh, yeah, never
I get
mind. I'm a dingus.
this. Yeah, this is a spring move.
Yeah.
So presumably the idea would be to pop the fleet and fall. Although you figure you'd want to be an Ionian for that.
Yeah.
I guess Tripoli lets you threaten Tunis as well.
Yeah, hard to know. We'll see what happens if fall moves and then, you know, make a comment. Oh, Kiel has also fallen to England here. Yeah, the walls are just really closing in for everyone in Europe who's not named England, France at this point.
Oh yeah, like people are like shifting alliances, trying to make something happen, but like it's no
And
one can really put up a strong enough defense.
and Safavid is slowing down. They've lost Riyadh. They've lost Kabardia to Ottomans. Okay, so it really looks like it's England, France, and you might be third in the leaderboard after this phase.
Yeah, we'll have to see how fall goes. But I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to um, get at their heels so that we can all win together.
Let's look at it. What happens in fall?
All right, so in the fall, um, I lose 50-50 on Renpengpa. Ming taps Kung Ming and also walks an army into Chengdu.
Yep.
So they've got the front line now. Um, and also Safavid stays allied with them, and Ming stabs Russia.
Oh God.
So despite all of my gains, Ming is still building, I believe.
Oh no. Wait, they're losing one here
Or
in
maybe they're, or maybe they're,
Fusan.
or maybe they're, or maybe they're just not disbanding.
They're getting one
But
in
basically,
Karakoram, and they're losing Kunming and popping it. They're losing Macau. They should be -1, no? Am I crazy? I might be crazy.
all I know is that it's a lot better for them than I was hoping it would be.
Yeah, I mean, they're -2 SCs, but yeah, like
Oh, they also keep the Bama army. Zoom in on there. They retreat to Morocco, and then they keep it,
okay, that's funny.
and they pop 2 fleets.
Yeah, Hanyang Peking, they're just trying to piece Toku or sack Korea.
Yeah. Well, Ming is going to death war me.
Yeah, yeah, that makes
They're
sense.
going to death. They're going to death war me, and they've got a line of armies.
Yes, because of the whole Chengdu thing.
Yep, and they also have an army behind my front lines.
Yep. Okay.
Um, so yeah, so the upside of me not telling anybody is that I got away with the stab. Ming did not see it coming at all. The
Yes.
downside is that they were able to get away with just popping some fleets and um, having all these armies that can still fight me.
Yep. Yep. It's a problem. Um,
Um, Especially since, again, I am on a timer.
you are now in fourth place on the leaderboard. How far behind are you in like terms of VSCC percentage at this point?
Let's see.
So you're at
I
15 out of
need
28. You're at above 50. You're like 54%. And these guys are at 32, 28 out of 42. Um, 28 out of 42 is 4 out of 7. No, 4 out of 6, right? Yeah, 4 out of 6. So we're like 66%. And
Yeah,
you're at
it's
about
about half
54.
to about 2/3.
Yeah. So you're like 12% off at this point, which is like, it's actually pretty good. Like you're keeping the pace that you need. Um, I guess the question is like, what does your next year look like with Ming Death warring you, and what kind of progress are you going to make?
Right, exactly. We should probably go back to fall moves real quick because a few other things happen.
Yes.
Um, there's all the Ming stuff, which is a bit of a mixed bag. I do successfully get Palembang.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I also outguess the Dutch and tap Java C without walking out of Banjarmassen.
Yes.
Um, and I also dot England in Katak
Yes. Okay. With Mughal help.
um, with Mughal help. Um, so basically, England basically told me that they were going to push into Gondwana
Uh huh.
and build in Katak.
Oh.
And I was not thrilled about the building in Katak.
Yeah.
And I tried to like talk them out of it and negotiate. And basically, Um, they they weren't having it. They wanted to like build three more armies in India, and they wanted like the entirety of like basically like everything south of Kolkata, everything south of Sassuram, basically.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Um, and I'm like, that's too much.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to dot them, and and hope that I can talk my way out of it diplomatically. Um, and I succeed. They don't build any fleets.
Okay. Yeah, that's
They
actually
don't.
really nice.
Um, because personally, I feel that given how absurdly strong England is here, um, that me taking Katak is perfectly compatible with me being their ally and winning with them. Because, well, I should be able to demand the bare minimum that lets me win with them.
Yeah, right. If they're like, "Hey, I'm ahead," and that one dot that's Death War worthy, then like you're not they're not finding a way to hit VSCC with you. And also like they're probably looking at you like, "Oh my god, this person's like +5." Like cutting them does not like cutting you does not seem reasonable in any world, right? Like who kills you here? Ming? The Spain that they're death warring? Dead Netherlands? Like nothing. Like
Right. I need to make the path of least resistance continuing to work with me.
yeah. And it very
Um,
much seems like it is.
um, and that does require annoying England a little bit, but I do the best I can to not cross the line of annoying them a lot.
Yep. Yep, makes
Uh,
sense.
and yeah, so I've got a pocket saucer here, um, which is nice. Um, Mughal is basically like, hey, I know I'm gonna die, but anything you can do to annoy England is appreciated. Since you dotted Katak, I'm gonna disband Allahabad.
Okay.
Let's see. I build three armies here. Dong King, I'm building there like every single year upon finishing that core.
Oh,
That
absolutely.
core is just so much better than my alternatives.
It's just like a year
Um,
ahead of everything else, you know.
Absolutely. The Morocco army is very annoying. Um, so I'm gonna have to do some tactics to try to figure out how to deal with that. Um, let's see. I build two fleets. The fleets are pretty non-committal on paper, but I do have a solution to the Ming problem, and that is to stab Spain.
Yep. Yep. Makes sense.
Spain, Ming is just has too much going their way to collapse quickly, and I need to keep growing really fast because again, the F is at 42. The Dutch do get rid of one fleet, but I can only get stuff off of them so fast. I absolutely don't want to fight England more because I'm not getting dots off of them easily at all.
Yeah. It's one, two, three,
Um,
four, five, six, seven armies in India. Yeah, you really can't.
yeah, and meanwhile, Spain. How did Spain do last year? What was their? How many builds did they have? Could we take a look at this map and the retreats map?
Yeah,
So they're
so
31.
31 and they went to 32. So they've been neutral basically the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And
So Spain is fighting the EF, which is nice. Okay, they build one army in Lima.
and two in Europe from Pops, I guess.
Oh yes, probably must be from Pops because they only went +1.
I think they got popped in Yucatan.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Um,
So yeah, Spain's been a good ally. I do have a good rapport with them, but and they are fighting the EF, but they're not going to stop the EF. The EF is if they stick together, is still going to reach 100%, and I need to grow quickly enough for the game to not just end as a two-way impunity. So I feel like I basically have to stab Spain here for the same reason I had to stab Ming last year.
yeah, you need growth. You can get like maybe one or two dots off of the Dutch a year, but you know, one or two off the Dutch and maybe like one off Ming a year is just really not going to cut it for how many game years there are left.
Yeah, and also there's no way Spain is winning this game. Like their position isn't as bad as like the Dutch and Portugal, but just compared to they're in like 10th place
Yeah.
and fighting NEF and just under I think they're also fighting Ottoman and Aymara's dead now, so the South American regionals are probably going to fight them soon. It's just I don't see how Spain could win this game. And again, I do love having long-term allies, but if there's not a way for both of us to win, the alliance has an expiration date.
Yep. Yep. Makes sense. Okay. Do you want to look at spring moves?
Let's do it.
1646. Wow. So what does the Spain stab look like? It looks like walking into every single tile adjacent to Spain. It's so good.
While they walk Palawan away, sort of, and take Monado from the Dutch.
Uh, you're taking. Oh, we're
Uh,
taking Monado. Yeah. Okay, that's great. You're
uh,
getting
and
Java.
yep, Java, Manila, Cotabato are
Java,
all.
Manila, Cotabato. Yeah. You cannot convoy in.
I can't. The armies are only so useful there in the Philippines.
Yeah. Okay. And then yeah, you're getting Ren. You're never losing Ren. And Chengdu is not takeable.
Nope.
Oh, interesting. And you take from Katak, so like it's a nice arranged thing with England where you both are going your separate ways.
Yeah, no, me and England chat a lot. And, again, despite the fact that I dotted her last year, I do genuinely intend on winning this game with England. And, I give her the full explanation of why I did what I did and how we can win together moving forward. And she agrees.
Yeah, it sounds really
And
nice.
it's great from like look at the border between me and England.
Yeah.
Like this is just an incredible England IU alliance.
It's really a dream border. Like there's just nothing there's no stab
Well,
line.
with me and Katak, like it's basic. There's like a dead zone between us now.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I just removed all the tension between us with that one little stab.
It is actually really, really nice. Really heads up.
And she's even coring Ceylon so that she can build fleets in the future, and they don't have to without it being super awkward um, for me. And I'm coring Osset too, so I can build fleets further south, so we don't have to sail fleets past each other in order to do stuff.
Yeah. Oh, though like I guess the only one left here is Ajuran. Um I mean Ajuran is making progress, but like this is not a winning position this game, you know.
And I'm on good terms with Audron. I talk with Audron pretty often. We're pretty friendly. Um, I feel like if England or France ever does stab me, Audron could be a really good ally to have.
Yeah.
But the current status quo is Audron's gonna be fighting a war in Africa forever, and the EF is going to win.
Yeah, they're just not going to be able to resolve their region in a way that lets them win the game or lets them have an interesting effect on other parts of the board.
Right. Their victory is out of their hands. It depends on the EF breaking up.
Yeah,
If
right.
the EF breaks up, then their relationship with me can pay off, and we can work together in the Indian Ocean. If the EF doesn't break up, then doesn't matter what they do. They'll be a middle power for the rest of the game.
Right. And like the EF is not breaking up because of anything Ajuran says, right? Like that's
Right. It's going to break up because of the EF. It's their decision.
yeah. Or some dynamics maybe in North America or something, or like something with Spain. Like it's not going to be Ajuran offering France a stab on England, right? Like that's not a thing that they can do. And I think most of the board is just out of contention in the same way, or just not able to do anything. Like Mapuche and Guarani, like okay, Mapuche's actually gotten a really nice stab off on Guarani, or an okay stab off on Guarani. Yeah, I'm going to call this okay.
Yeah, and I feel okay about this. Like, Grani is a really good long distance ally for me.
Uh huh.
But I've also had a pretty good rapport with Mapuche, and them stabbing Grani means that they're going to be putting fewer units into Australia for when I eventually get down there.
Yep.
So it works out okay for me. They are coring Danny though. In fact, are they finishing a core in Danny this turn?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so they have a successful core in Danny, which is not a problem right now, but could become an issue down the line if Mapuche contests me over Dutch dots.
Yeah, I mean, Mapuche always has a tough time doing this because they have no cores to start with, and now they have one, but still, like, your fleet production is just going to be so much better than theirs.
Yes, that's true. It's just worth. I'm especially aware of Mapuche because my previous, the most recent game of IMTIP that I'd won
Mhm.
was as Mapuche.
Ah,
And I got all the way to, I think I got to Andaman Islands.
oh my god. What?
Um, that was the ice cream invitational.
Okay,
Um, I wrote the Mapuche guide after winning that game.
that's really crazy.
Um, but I'm aware of how far a skilled Mapuche can go under the right conditions, and so I want to make sure that they're either busy elsewhere or firmly allied with me if we do become neighbors.
Yep, that makes sense, and it seems like you're going to get your wish with the Guarani Mapuche War.
Oh yeah, no, it works out. It works out just fine for me.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about your position? I mean, I see you're clearly corralling the Pegu army. You want to take a quick look around and then we'll advance the phase?
Yeah, sounds good.
Atha's completely gone, and these guys are
Yeah,
still
there's
piecing
zero.
out. Yeah, I mean, North America is just stuck in this state. There's nothing that anyone can really do. If the EF is winning, the EF is winning. Ooh, little convoy swap.
Oh yes, those are always fun. Yeah, England makes some nice moves here against Spain.
Yeah, that's very cool. And they're trading Antigua. Okay, so England um, has traded away their Caribbean colony to France so that France feels more secure, I guess. And then
Or at least the Eastern Caribbean.
yeah, this is a cool way to do it. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
this is
impressed.
like a textbook EF. Like if you're going to have an EF alliance, just like look at this. What is this? Year 5 of the game? Yeah, look at the first 5 years of this game, and see the sort of stuff they do. Uh, it's incredible coordination.
By the way, so at some point, there are now two armies in Madagascar. This is really funny.
Yeah, so France is getting it. France is interestingly coring Bara but not Sokolava.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that.
I'm guessing it's a concession to Audron.
Yeah, that makes sense. What else is going on? France is just winning this area. French Porto. Okay, I missed that. But yeah, okay. It's just England and France walking over the map. Safavid is stuck, not making progress versus Ottomans. And yeah,
Yeah,
it seems
so
like it.
remember we were talking earlier about whether that those two builds from Ottoman would pay off. In terms of stopping Safavid, it does seem to have paid off. Um, what's Ottoman currently at? How
They're
what are their pro-
27.
okay, okay, so Ottoman could still feasibly um, win the game for this position. They seem to be allied with France. They're fighting Spain. They're fighting Congo, Safavid, Poland, Austria.
Yeah, they've got like Abyssinia vassalized at this point, I guess, and that seems
Yeah,
great for them. They're going to pick up Tangier this year, which looks really nice. Marrakesh is going to England here. I think like Ottoman's midterm game looks really good. Um,
yeah. The big problem is the time limit and the fact that they're at a huge war with Safavid. Really, only one of Safavid and Ottoman can win from this position, and it's possible that neither of them will if they drag each other down enough.
yeah, there's a lot of like, oh my god, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Safed units on the front against Ottomans right now, and those are not easy units to commit to anywhere else. Um,
Yeah. And what did Safavid actually? They got Baghdad and Trebizond and Riyadh. They got four. They got 4 dots out of the stab
yeah, one, two,
map.
three, four, five. Kabardi as
Yeah, just
well.
this big stalemate makes me almost wonder if it was worth it. Like if Safavid and Ottoman had just stuck together hard, like what would their positions be right now?
Um, Ottomans went +2 that year, right? And they got stabbed out of like 3 or 4, so they'd probably be like +5. Like, I mean, I think Ottomans would be doing very
Ottomans
well for
would be great.
themselves.
How would Safavid be doing?
Yeah, what was Safavid's alternative to doing this?
Probably pushing into Ming and Russia more,
Yeah, you like convoy Bayuli. You try to pick up Verk.
or maybe India too. Maybe try to contest England and India.
Yeah, yeah. You
Build some
probably
more fleet.
walk like combat or something. You push much more aggressively in India.
Yeah, I'm just curious in retrospect how good of an idea the Safavid stab on Ottoman was.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the immediate, for this turn, it was clearly a higher dot move than the alternative.
In the short term, it was great.
Yeah.
In the medium term, it seems to be struggling a bit. We haven't seen the long term yet, though, so it might still turn around for them.
Have they? Yeah, they built Army Bandarabas, which I. Okay. Yeah, to pop Khalidi? Oh my gosh. Yeah, like if you build a bunch of units and you throw them on the line, like that's fine if you subtract the opportunity cost of going the other way. And I guess the question is, what dots could Safed have had on this side if they had done something different? Like if they had gone full bore this way. And maybe the answer is like Surat, Delhi, Kabul, or something like that.
Yeah,
And they'd be taking them off dead players instead of Ottomans.
instead of one of the major powers.
Yeah. But also, I think that was really hard to evaluate back then because, well, you hadn't stabbed Ming.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm definitely. This is definitely in retrospect.
Yeah.
We have lots of information of the years following that,
Yeah, for sure,
but
for sure.
definitely interesting to evaluate.
Yeah, yeah, I agreed. The stalemate here is just really nasty, and I think it is a recurring theme in a lot of games. Like, if Spain is winning in the Med, then you can make Ottomans fall apart, but Safed by themselves just can't.
Especially with the African regionals being such a mess, and
Yeah,
Ottoman
right.
being able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, no one's able to put any pressure on Ottomans anywhere else, really, right? Like Russia's dead, Poland's dead, Austria's dead. France is working with Ottomans. Spain is dying. Abyssinia is
Abyssinia is
vassalized,
Yep.
right? Like you can't win this solo. Um,
Yeah,
okay,
which of course is kind of the same problem I'm having with Ming at the moment. Is that I don't have a whole lot of help against them. And the help I am having is like way off in Korea. That
right.
doesn't directly make my progress easier.
It helps
But
because it means there will be more disbands at the end of the year, but it's not like, oh
yes,
yes, we can bring more units to bear together.
but Ming is also a much weaker power than Ottoman is, so it's less consequential for me.
Right. Uh,
Like Ming isn't going to replace me as a winner in this game. Um, but yeah, fall moves. So this was a
this is a
painful
disaster
turn
set,
for
yeah? Like Ren is popped.
yes. Now there's a big reason why. Ching leaves me hanging here. Ching agreed to tap Shangzi this turn.
Oh, okay.
Ching told me they were tapping Shangzi, and then they changed their orders at the last minute because they got scared of Inuit.
Gotcha.
And as you can see, it didn't end up mattering. They would have held Shikihar regardless.
Yeah, I guess they were worried. What were they worried about? They were worried about Russia tapping so
Yeah,
long?
they're worried about Russia tapping.
Gotcha.
At least that's what they told me. and I didn't see any other evidence to the contrary. But basically, something spooked them. They changed their move without telling me, and it was awful for my Ming tactics.
Yeah, it's like -1 phase, -1 year. Like Ming has an actual line, almost stalemate line against you now, and like
Yeah,
anything you
because
get is just gonna be slow and grinding progress at best.
yeah, it's awful. Because yeah, if I got it into Chengdu, which I would have if the support was cut, because I predicted Ming's moves correctly, but
Yeah,
uh, Ching just really let me down here, um, and those turns can be really painful.
it is a pain. Okay, so what happened in the south? Did you get progress? You cored Ake.
Yep, I get Java. Um, Spain supports themselves out of Monado. So the Dutch get to keep it actually.
Yeah.
But I get Cotabato and Manila.
Mhm.
So Spain's gonna have a ton of disbands.
There are 32 now. We'll look at that in a second. 23. They're -9.
Oh, and Portugal's now at 7.
They went up to actually.
Oh, yeah, it was last year. We didn't. I don't think we commented on it. Last year, Portugal went down a bunch again.
Oh,
They
16
went
to
from
5.
yes, so they went -13 and then -11. Um,
Gosh.
uh, and I don't think we noticed. And then they went +2 again this year. So they actually went positive after going -24 in 2 years.
Oh, France supports them into Niani, and they get Sao Paulo back.
Yep.
Yeah, and everything's just dead. Oh my gosh,
Oh,
look
look
at
at
this.
Convoy.
Little convoy all the way to Porto. To convoy England into a French dot.
That's the EF.
Yeah, this is like full trust mode. I guess because England is getting Cherokee. No, England is getting Cherokee and Porto. And
France is getting Cartagena.
yeah.
Um, France is closing in on Parmerbo. They got Arguin. They'll probably get Niani in the near future. They'll
Oh
probably
my.
get Cabo Verde in the near future.
Look at this tactics. England
Oh,
bounces Canaries because they have to. So Spain here guesses the 50-50 right. And is it a 50-50? No, it's not a 50-50 because Chamba can never do anything against Tangier. You should always hold. Well,
yeah, because if you hold, you only lose one dot, right?
yeah, you
You
lose
lose
one dot
whatever
max.
you lose whatever Tafel out attacks.
Yep,
Um, but instead you lose 2 dots here.
pain. Maybe it's
Remember, I mean,
arranged.
I just um, it doesn't. The med doesn't look like it.
Oh, what's going on here? Yeah, they're dotting Balir. Yeah, it's just a cash grab.
Yeah, but I just stabbed Spain, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it's Spain's turn. It was Portugal's turn to fall down the set of stairs, and now Spain shall do the same. Okay, so your plus looks like Java, Cotabato, Manila, Sassurum. So +4. So like the Ren thing is really annoying in terms of like what your progress looks like long term, but you are now at 23, which means like you're in the blocking conversation.
Yeah. So basically, it's the difference between, I made these big plays and enough things went right for me to get into that critical zone. Um, but if those details hadn't gone wrong, I'd be right up there with them at this point.
Right.
Um, so like, yes, I'm staying in it, but I'm still kind of in that boundary zone where I have to keep on pushing really hard because I'm not far enough ahead to be safe and comfortable, basically.
Yeah, you're at like you're definitely still behind, right? You're at like 70%, and England is 8 centers off, and that's they're still like like holding that nice like 10-15% margin on you.
Yeah. So I'm still in the danger zone, and I'm in the danger zone because of very frustrating things. So it's made this phase of the game, like, despite the fact that I'm doing well, it's made it incredibly like stressful and tense
Oh my
every
god.
single phase.
What is Ming doing? What they're just keeping the unit in ping to be annoying.
Oh no, no, Ming is death warring me. Like, um, I got off this really good stab on them, and they are going to punish me as they're doing the Russia thing, right? They're gonna
Yeah.
punish me as hard as they can for it.
Yes, that
Which,
makes sense.
again, it's you can only complain about that so much.
Yeah, I mean you
Like,
you
yes,
completely killed their game. Like,
yeah,
fair enough. Uh,
I get it. From their perspective. From my perspective, though, it's, oh god, I'm I might not be able to get into the win of this game because Bing's gonna stop me.
yep.
Well, not stop me, but slow me down enough that I lose anyway.
Yeah, I think you kind of need staff on side, or there's just no one in the north who is making enough progress to be a reasonable like I'm gonna walk over Ming candidate.
Yeah, and Safavid, unfortunately, while we chat a fair amount, it's been pretty clear to me that they see me as a rival and that they're happy to like indirectly slow me down.
Oh, that's not
Like,
that sucks.
they're they're in no rush to help me get dots. Um because well,
Yeah, I guess they're not afraid of being unable to block the EF themselves, and so they feel no particular obligation to help.
yeah, basically. Which, them essentially vassalizing Ming here is far from ideal for me. But again, I only have so much leverage over this off of vids.
Yep, that makes sense. Do you want to look at 1647?
Let's do it.
1647. Okay, so the movement now caught my eye. Look at this.
Yeah, so a very interesting thing happening here. So just when it looks like I may not quite be able to keep up with the EF, they break, which is both positive and negative for me. On the upside, DF breaking up could give me more time to, break through those stalemates and, get into an unassailable position.
Yep.
The downside is that England's stab on France goes extremely well.
Yes. So now are we looking at England solo? Is the question.
And yeah, them soloing is a way for me to lose the game. So I definitely don't want that to happen.
Yeah, they're gonna pick up 2 in Caribbean here, 3 in Caribbean. They might lose New Courland. They're putting Spain here
Yeah, so Spain is
for
helping England in this solo attempt.
yeah. 5, they're getting Kiel. They're gonna get Amsterdam. 6, they're gonna lose Bremen back to 5. Yeah. So it seems pretty likely that England will hit the SCC this year. Mughals is back on side. Is this an arranged bounce between you and them in Bay of Bengal?
No. They they agreed to let me into Bay of Bengal in exchange for me letting them build a fleet. They said, I want to build a fleet. And I'm like, okay, you can do that, but I'm moving to Bay of Bengal.
Okay, gotcha. And
And
then
they
you just
agreed.
bounce. Yeah.
Yeah. They told me they were moving it to Palyakar, and just sending it south. And then they basically like, hey, once I'm out of there, please leave Bay of Bengal. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine with me. But they bounced me out instead, so that I can't interfere with their solo attempt.
Yep. Yep. If you're in there and you're seeing a solo attempt, like surely you're being annoying. You're trying to walk into on their coast, or you're doing something.
Yeah, but now I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I can't touch England in this position.
Interesting. You support Spain into Cebu here? Is that like a prevent a
Oh,
self bounce
yes,
situation?
I guess a Philippine Sulu self bounce
Okay.
in Cebu.
Oh my gosh, you just have so many fleets and so many black arrows.
Yeah, well, Spain's, you know, throwing to England. But you know, doesn't have the units to really do much against me.
Yeah.
And the Dutch are still kind of fighting me, but they only have a few fleets left in the area. And I also destroy Ming still keeps that Pegu army. So I blow it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Now is the time.
Um, and speaking of Ming, do I make any progress against them?
Nope.
I don't think I do. Nope.
Yeah. You're just locked behind the stalemate line now.
Yeah. And it was all because of that retreat from Laodong.
Yeah. And the tap on Shaanxi, right? You would have had
Yes.
Chengdu this
Yep.
phase if you
There were two critical moments that I needed to break the line,
yeah.
and they both went against me in ways that I didn't expect.
Yep. It's hard. It's hard now. But you're getting pretty close. You need 9 more dots to hit your number, and 9 you can get the 2 Philippine ones. You can get maybe like 3 or 4 off the Dutch holdings. The last 2 or 3 still look tricky. Formosa, I don't know. I don't know how you break the Ming position here. You need something else to go for you.
Yeah, because you know what's going on. Safavid is basically not touching them because they're just a roadblock for me.
Yeah,
Um, Qing is fighting them, but they're also fighting Russia and Inuit. Um, I don't think they're. I think Pyongyang is arranged, so I don't think they're fighting Toku, but they're fighting. They're just fighting so many other people that they can't do much against
yeah.
Ming.
This is just a
And
weird
also,
dead. Like,
yeah.
uh,
Um, and then of course Inuit and Ute are attacking Toku together.
yep,
So Toku is busy with that. Look at that convoy from Edo over to into East Asia.
yeah. From Chinook. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean they're playing the way they have to play. Like every phase they've been seeing EF, and this is just how you have to
Yeah,
react.
it's kind of the same with me, right? I've been playing the way I have to play. The, you know, this EF has just been setting the. It just shows how interconnected Imperial diplomacy is.
Yeah,
Where
absolutely.
there's this alliance that basically just sets the tone for the board, and this is a high level experienced board, and it's heavily influencing everyone else's play.
Yeah, I think like if you ask some new players to be like, well, why do I need to talk to Francis Ayutthaya, or like what do I have to do with all these people in North America as Ayutthaya? And like, yeah, it's all related. It's all like how you should play depends a lot on how those other people are playing, right? Like, there's plenty of worlds in which the Ming stab was bad or it was unnecessary, um, but with the other players cross board playing the way they were, there was just that was just it. That was the move.
Yeah, exactly. I think in a normal wave game, the F would have just won this.
Yeah,
Like they would have just stomped the board, and no one would have been able to do anything. But here we've had to, you know, our hands have been forced, but we have played those hands.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay, do you want to advance?
Let's do it.
Fall
So
moves.
fall moves. Once again, the Ming line holds. Though Qing does tap Shanxi this time, so they're starting to get back into my good graces again. But unfortunately, it's not enough. Oh, actually, wait, no, I get Rampangpa.
Yeah, because Sap taps Himalayas.
Yes. So I forgot about this. Yes. So I am able to get Safavid to finally make a move. They top Himalayas, they top walk into Turfan. I get Renpungpa,
Yep.
Ching. So yeah, this is what starts to break Ming up.
Yeah, because I
They
guess
finally,
Safavid is now actually worried that you might not you might not be able to block, or they might not be able to block.
Right, because England's trying to solo. So England's solo attempt really kind of shakes things up here.
Yeah,
Let's see. England does not get Burhanpur. They're kicked out of Surat because Safavid supports Mughal into Surat. I convoy into Cuttack, start coring Sasaram, move a bunch of fleets west. So obviously this isn't stopping England from soloing now, but it's preventing the follow-up. If we can stop them this year, it ensures they can't just try again next year
yeah.
and grab, one or two more dots and win anyway.
The math just looks way harder for them after this.
Speaking of coring, I'm coring 2 dots in Oceania as well. Um, let's see.
You're covering
Oh,
from France, I guess.
um, well, I'm covering from France and also sending an extra fleet to that can help against England.
Gotcha.
So I make a deal with the Dutch here. Like, hey, I'm going to leave you alone and focus on Spain and England
Okay.
because England's trying to solo.
Yeah.
The Dutch, however, they stab. In fact, they try to throw to England. They stab basically everybody with the expectation that the game will end this turn.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Does it?
No, it doesn't. Take a look at the scoreboard.
Oh
England makes it
no.
55.
What's the VSCC cap for this game?
It's 30%.
Okay, and 30% is 25 dots? No, 25
Um,
dots is 25%.
let's see. Yes.
Yeah, you're at
So
75 flat here.
yes, I would have blocked them. Um, I would have
They
blocked them even if England got another +1. I think.
Yeah, they needed to be at 58 to win.
Yeah. So I do successfully block the solo, but I am also very mad at the Dutch for trying to throw it to them.
Mhm.
Um, because I would have gotten Zamboanga. Spain disbands it anyway, so it ends up getting pocketed.
Yeah.
But basically, like, I'm going to murder the Dutch at this point because they could have screwed everything up.
Also, like, regardless of all other considerations, right? Like, where is your 32 when you're stalled out against Ming like this? Like, there's just nothing.
I could invade India.
Yeah, that's true. You do actually, you got into Bay of Bengal. I guess England didn't bounce in fall. Yeah.
Uh, nope, they moved out, so they probably presumably so they could build.
Right.
But they don't build in India because they have fewer builds than they expected, and have other theaters that are more pressing to reinforce.
Oh, that's painful. That's really painful.
So I could get dots in India here. I was genuinely considering like piecing out with the Dutch at this point. Um, but and I might still like pretend to impress, but the moment that they cut my support into Zamboanga, like
Yeah.
my plan is to kill them. Um, if someone makes a move that, as far as they know, could cause you to lose the game, you kill them.
Yeah, but there's really not a more directly offensive way of asking to die.
Yeah,
Uh,
basically. Plus, again, we didn't have the greatest relationship in the first place.
yeah, it's been
Um,
mostly Death War from the beginning, yeah, apart from the one phase where
yeah,
you let them into Ake.
yeah, and in fairness, that isn't uncommon for Ayutthaya and the Dutch.
Yeah.
I'm probably in another game, me and Olis will get along a lot better. But in this game, we didn't get along great.
Core Manila, I really like that. And you're getting the Pocket on Zambo. You get Chengdu here. Yeah, so this stalemate line is finally breaking with the tap on Himalayas.
Yep. And again, Ching, my religion, they finally come through. They tap Shengzi again. And this time I get into Chengdu.
Yeah.
So Ming's starting to break.
Yeah, I mean,
And
what is happening here? This is so weird. Why is Ching tapping Shenxi and supporting Ming into Inuit?
um, well, Inuit is invading Qing. Like Inuit has like 2 Ming dots, so Qing is having it both ways.
I guess so.
Ming's,
Yeah.
Ming's like, hey, I want. Oh, so Ming's also fighting Inuit up north in like former Russia area.
Right.
Um, so, you know, um, Qing's like, hey, I'll support you in Chikiar, but they also want to, make good with me. So they tap Chengxi again. So
It's
I'm happy with it.
yeah, of course. I mean, I'd be overjoyed with this if I was you. Like, this
I mean,
is this is the progress you need.
yeah, I need it because England's still at 55. Like,
Yeah.
there's I need more dots. I need to catch up. I need to make sure that no one is soloing this game.
Yep. And England wins this one every time, so it's just a matter of can you catch up? Oh my
Right,
gosh, look at this. You were getting into Flores and Java. Oh my god, and Zambo for thinking I'm counting +4.
um, yeah, I'm doing. Yeah. The Ocean is going pretty well for me. There's also the matter of Tokugawa.
Okay.
So the moment Spain died, Tokugawa like started getting really paranoid and like just telling me like how worried they were and how they were hesitant to help me against Ming and stuff. And no, dude, I want to work with you.
Hmm.
Um, I'm willing to um, I'm willing to leave Luzon straight, if you don't have any units next to it, and basically just you go your way, I go my way, and we kind of do our own things.
Yep.
Toku agrees and then moves into Okinawa Trough, and I'm like, um, and I'm like, dude, that was like just like the one thing I asked for. But you know what? That's fine. I get why you did it. Um, we can still work together. Just please back your fleets off and don't walk behind my front lines.
Yep.
Um, Meanwhile, I'm thinking, okay, Tokugawa doesn't trust me and isn't going to work with me. I am absolutely going to stab them now.
Yeah, what's your step 4 at this point? You
Formosa
can
and Bonin,
okay, like you would just walk in and
just walk into both.
okay.
Ask them to leave Okinawa Trough, which they've already agreed to. Ask them to support me into Nanking,
Oh, wow.
or
Or I'd support them into non-can. Yeah.
one of the two. But basically, just whatever makes them not cover those two dots. So yeah, this is kind of one of those kind of like self-fulfilling prophecy things where I wasn't planning on fighting Toku. I was planning to just chill and kind of short my position,
Hmm.
but um, they they weren't paranoid enough to stop me from stabbing them, but they were too paranoid to make me want to work with them.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a danger zone in diplomacy.
Yeah, yeah. If people are so paranoid that you kind of can't do anything other than deal with that, then they don't make much of an ally.
On top of that, I also heard from Oot that they were trying to peace out, and they were worried about me. So my information gathering was also paying off as well.
Oh my god.
Although
Yeah.
speaking of Oot, um, he's stabbing Inuit here.
Yeah, he finally gets to play the game now that the EF broke, right? And he gets one,
Yep.
two, three, one, two, three, four. It's just 4 dots off. Yeah.
Yes, though I think he might be able to snipe something in the west too. I think he's got a fleet near Kamchatka somewhere, or maybe near Togu in
God.
Asia.
Oh, in Asia, in Asia. Carrix
Um,
and Chukchis. Oh my god. And yeah, it's Carrix and Chukchis. That's crazy. That's such a good
yeah.
stab. Okay.
But however, that also encourages me to stab Toku because the Oot Inuit alliance against Toku is also ending right now. So Toku's going to be under a lot less pressure soon.
Yeah, you're right, right. And if Toku has free time,
They have free time and they don't trust me.
yeah, yeah. There you go. That's the double whammy. All right. Do you want to look at 1648 Fallen?
Um, yeah, let's do it.
All right. What's happening here?
All right, so starting with China, I get Chengdu. I do not get Jining. Safavid leaves me hanging because now that they've gotten a dot or two off Ming, they're like, hey, I could get more dots off Ming, or I could leave them as a roadblock for Ayu.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
they do not tap Igor, or take Lenzao.
tapping Uyghur is
Um,
just it doesn't earn them any dots long term. I think because taking Lunzhou is it's not holdable.
I mean, it could be if Ming disbands.
Well, I don't think it's holdable from you.
Oh, yeah, yeah, maybe.
Um, yeah,
But it's disappointing. Like again, I get why they did it, but it's just another like, oh, yep, Safavid.
Savid not doing what they said.
Yep. Let's see. I get into Gondwana.
Is this a
I
Madras convoy?
Yeah, I convoy into Madras.
Nice.
That's successful. So I'm getting Safavid of England. Although unfortunately, England. Speaking of Safavid leaving me hanging, they're piecing out with England here. And going after Adron instead.
Yes.
And killing Mughal off.
I
So Mughal
think.
has been like,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was basically saying, Mughal was obviously helping me and Safavid stop England from soloing,
Yeah.
but yeah, Safavid is just killing them.
Yeah. Safed is probably also in their own desperate rush to hit the impunity here, and yeah, they're getting
Which,
Archangelos. They're gonna get Novgorod. They're gonna try to get Kraz.
oh yeah, so they're in a great position. They just gotta be really annoyed with them in the process.
Yeah. 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 Understandably. Uh, yeah. I think I'm a temp sub for Ajuran in one of these phases. This phase. And in this phase, what happens? We're trying to make some kind of peace with France. It doesn't really work. I get outplayed. Glosson guesses the self bounce and makes me cover Seychelles. And Congo is like support me into Gondar so I go +2. And I'm looking at this map, and they're getting Sao Tome. They've guaranteed Benin, and they're like, I want to go +2 so I can build 2 fleets. And I'm looking at this like, that's not how that works, right? Like, you're building an army if you go +3 here. So I do not, in fact, support them to Darfur or to Gondar like they wanted. And I'm like, you can go +2 and build 2 fleets. You're not building armies. And Congo gets quite pissed, and I think this is the source of the stab in the following turn, where Ajran Ajran was JPM for the end of this phase and is now JPM again for this phase, and yeah, Congo is just going to stab here, and England and France are also just looking for dots in the end game scramble, so they will all kind of team up and try to pull stuff off Ajran at this point.
Yeah, and Congo is still allied with the Dutch. They are just letting the Dutch keep dots in Africa.
Yep.
Um, which I've been getting gradually less happy with because the Dutch are using those dots to annoy me in Oceania, and just cause more trouble than they should be able to.
Yeah, I don't know, where are they overbuilt? 1, 2, 3. Overbuilt by 1 here. Oh, we have 2 theaters. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 here. Okay. So they're not overbuilt here anymore. but yeah, like they're underbuilt here and they're overbuilt in South America, I guess, and they're dead everywhere else.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah, it's very interesting. It's just like here's my pocket dots. Go be annoying to other people while I kill Ajuran, I guess, which was sad for me.
Well, yeah, sad as a spectator and a brief sub for Hadron.
Yeah, I subbed in for less than a full phase. Like I subbed in and I subbed out later in the same phase. So the player came back.
Oh yeah, I remember that because I remember you like being like tangentially connected to the game, but never actually talking with you.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. I mean, I pretty much just talked to the people around me, right? Like Addy
Yeah,
Glosson, Shadow Guy, Fiend. I don't even. I don't know if I even talked to Sapphids.
yeah. What's it stood out to me because I basically message every player every phase.
Mhm.
So you'd have to have been in for not super long,
Yeah, to not get a
uh, or
message.
or or left me on red, I guess.
Yeah, I hope I didn't leave people on red as a sub. That's not a great move.
Well, I forgot you were even in the game at all, so probably wasn't for very long.
I was not. I was not very memorable in this game. Okay, so what happens in fall? You're getting Java. You're getting Danny. Oh my god. Yeah, and this is agreed as well. I assume you both were just like, yeah, we both can take our guaranteed dots. Let's do it.
Um, so yeah, sort of. So the Flores and Timor is agreed with Mapuche. Donnie is not.
Yeah, yeah, that
I do I
makes.
do I do dot Mapuche here, and again, it's because I need to keep up a fast pace of growth, and also at this stage of the game, there is no way Mapuche is going to win,
Yep.
but they are getting builds, and if they build in Danny, that's really bad for me.
Yeah, yeah. You need them to have better things to do, and the way to
Yeah,
do that is to not give them this.
yeah, I need to lock it in. Um, and yeah, same thing. It's yet another got a buddy, but they can't win. I need to grow as fast as possible in order to make sure I win.
Yep.
And so I adopt them.
Yep. Makes sense. Um,
And then I get both Bonin and Formosa.
I how. Oh,
I
Ming is
I
also trying Ryukyu.
Yep, they are. I press the heck out of and I walk into Hokkien behind Ming because
Yeah.
that was the main reason I didn't want to support Toku into Nanking
Uh huh.
is because they would bounce Ming out.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. So that's just
So
not
I
working
tell
at all.
so I tell Toku that I'm going to Nanking.
Yeah.
Um, and then I tell Ming to cover Nanking.
Okay.
Um, so he walks out. I get the two Toku dots. Um, and so yeah, more progress against Ming. But he still has Jining. Because I don't have help from Sophovid anymore. Also Ching takes Peking.
Yeah.
Um, Basically, I do a ton of press with all three of these players this phase
Hmm.
to set things up so that Ming loses Peking. I walk into Hokkien, I walk into the Toku dots. The only thing that went not according to plan was I advised Ming to go to Kyushu,
Yes.
but they went to Ryukyu instead. If they had
Yes.
followed my advice, Okinawa Trough would be empty, and Toku would be covering their core.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, no, sorry,
Well,
no, sorry, and Toku would be in Tsushima.
yeah, they'd be in
So
Tsushima instead. Yeah. But they have
their
the
fleets would
core
be
open, but they're not building, are they?
oh, yeah, they're not building, so their fleets would be super out of position
Neutral
against me.
-2. Yeah. 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 It
So
would
I,
have
I
been
set
better.
I set up yeah I set up things like 90%, but unfortunately, people don't always listen to me.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, like the other players are also inputting moves, and
Right, I don't get to write their orders for them
yeah.
as much as I'd like to.
Though sometimes I don't know, people manage to get other players to enter their preferred orders, right? Like people who are checked out or whatever. Um,
Oh, sure, and like, but Not in this case, unfortunately. I was only able to get them to do some of the things I wanted.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of builds, England, unfortunately, even though I got into Madras, they do have Masuli free, and they built a fleet there.
Oh, you're now ahead, right? You got 7 dots, and England went up 0. France went up 8. What happened?
Oh, England and France pieced out. They
Okay.
they basically like traded like North America for the Caribbean.
Oh, wow. Okay, so France just gets to walk into everything. And this
Yep,
was, I assume, arranged in the spring? Yeah.
yep. So the F is back together again.
Okay, and they're going to Gulf of Maine too. Oh my god. Okay, so it's all arranged. They dot like literally everything off of England.
Yep, which is I'm now at VSCC, but the F is back together, and England can afford to block me in England.
Um, England can afford to. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, England can afford to block me in India.
Yes. Yeah, they no longer have much better things to do, right? They're just
Yeah.
going for the close. Okay, so now it looks like this set of winners is pretty clear. One, two, three. No one's cutting Saf ever because yeah, no one's cutting Saf. The question is, can Ute make it? And now that EF is back online, I think Ute gets cut.
Oud is definitely in a challenging position, but obviously they want to win.
Yes.
And a very interesting thing happens before builds.
Okay.
So this is during the retreats in winter.
Mm-hmm.
There is a surrender vote.
Okay.
Um, the surrender vote is called by Spain at my encouragement.
Okay.
It's a surrender to the top 5 players.
Oh. So it includes Ute.
It includes Oot.
Okay.
Um, and all the major powers vote yes, except for Safavid.
Oh.
I think Dutch and like one or two others also vote no later, but Safavid is the first to no vote, and the first major power no vote.
Interesting. Safavids thinks they can play for more. So Safavids wants England and France to cut Ute? Is that what the deal is?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So yeah, basically Safavid's like, no, Oot doesn't deserve to win this game. We should cut them.
You cut them from over there while I sit.
Yes, exactly.
uh,
So obviously Oot's really unhappy with Safavid about this.
yeah.
Um, and it basically stirs up a lot of drama, which was the goal. That's why I asked Spain to call the vote. Because I immediately vote yes on it.
Yeah. You're like, I'm a good person. I'm happy to accept this, this straw. You know, bad, Safids over here is the person we need to go deal with for trying to cut people and play for more. How evil of him.
Yeah, exactly. So my plan here is basically to stay hard allied with France,
Yep.
to skirmish with England in India, but still have the understanding that we're totally going to win together, but we're going to be fighting over dots because you tried to solo on me, and I'm going to make sure that's not an option.
Sure. Yeah.
And then try to kill Ming, kill Toku, kill Dutch. Just kind of grow a bit more and see how things play out everywhere else.
Yeah, makes sense. Do you want to just check out this year?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think the biggest question is, can Ute get cut? So Ute is going to pick up Tuchon and Satu, and Inuit is okay. Inuit's anti-England still. Ute is not getting anything.
Yeah, no, not really.
Yeah, and France and England are making some level of progress. It's not much. Madrid is gonna go. Baleares, Tangier. Yeah. There's a bunch of like things that Spain has to do right to not lose a bunch of dots. Okay, so they're gonna get stuff. Can Safavids get +5? Safavids are getting Novgorod. They're getting Krasnoyarsk. They will get Bratsk. So 1, 2, 3 from Burhanpur, 4 from Goa, 5 from Maldives. Okay, so they can do it. Does the game end this year? It should end this year.
Uh, so, possibly. A couple things of note. Safavid moves to prop up Ming against me.
Mm-hmm.
They claim they're worried about me soloing.
Okay.
Um, Ching continues helping me out. I get into non-king. Um, in India, I do destroy an English unit, but Safavid doesn't help me out, as promised again. And finishes off Mughal instead. So Mughal is eliminated. Um, you would think that he could retreat to Allahabad, but he misorders his retreat into Ahmedabad instead.
No. Oh, that's so sad.
Um, so this is the end of Mughal.
Okay.
Um, and I lose Madras. I just guessed wrong in the tactics against England here. As you can see, it's a big, huge mess.
Yeah, it
Um,
looks really hard. Um,
um, in terms of Oot getting into the win, you saw the tactical side over, in North America
mhm.
and how things weren't going great for them there.
Yeah.
In the diplomatic side, a very important thing happens in Philippine Sea, where Oot stabs me by supporting Tokuin.
Yep.
Um, I would have blown up the Okinawa Trough fleet
Yes.
if it weren't for this, and now I'm going to lose Formosa. Uh, I am furious with Oot for this,
Uh-huh.
especially since we've spent the entire game as long distance allies, and I was their primary advocate for getting them into the win.
Yeah.
So at this point, I immediately turn around and start working to ensure that Oot does not get into the win.
Okay.
I basically tell Safavit, "Hey, I'm really annoyed about you leaving me hanging yet again, but Oot stabbed me. Let's coordinate to end the game this year,
Hmm.
so that Oot doesn't win." Um, I talked to England and France, like, "Hey, here's I've been getting insights from Oot all game. Here's the moves I think he's going to make in North America, based on his play style and such.
Yeah.
Um, you know, we can end the game this turn
Okay. Yeah.
without him in it." Um, and yeah, just that one support move on Toku he made just immediately flips my entire diplomatic angle. Um, he claimed that he really badly needed Toku on side, um, and in a tactical sense, that's true. But I wasn't going to let that one slide. I was not happy.
I think Yute's window is closing on him regardless of what he was doing here. Once these spring moves go through, it's just it's a done deal.
Yeah, it's not great for him.
Okay, fall, and I think this is the end.
All right, so fall moves.
What do you have?
So let's see. I keep Bonin. I lose Formosa. I get Peking. Sorry, I stab Ching for Peking. Um, that's kind of my little revenge for getting thrown under the bus later, and also I need the extra dots.
Yep.
Just in case. I get Nan King. I get Raja Mahendri. England stabs Safavid.
For Burhanpur?
And go north to Sweden area. Takes Archangelsk.
Okay.
Basically, yeah, England takes a couple dots off of Safavid. Safavid gets Krasnoyarsk, but does not go east a bit.
Krasnoyarsk.
Does not take Yakutsk.
Oh, okay, yeah, they were never getting. Oh, what is this unit doing?
It's supporting Inuit against Ute. They made some sort of deal with Inuit.
Okay, okay.
And so they don't take Yakutsk.
So they were not thinking this was the last phase of the game.
Oh, they did think this was the last phase of the game, but they also didn't think England was going to stab them.
Oh, so they were like, I have room. Gotcha.
Right. They're planning to end the game, but just like with me stabbing Qing here, they're also setting themselves up with various things in case the game goes on anyway.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
But as a consequence of this, they get less dots than they could have, and England stabs them, putting them at 35 out of 36.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay.
So Safavid does not reach VSCC.
Yes.
Because so not only do they not, I think Oot would also block them. Is 26 high enough? Maybe not.
26. It's like 66% ish.
Okay, so it doesn't block. So yeah, it's just the one center. It's not taking Yakutsk paired with the England stab.
Yeah.
So Safavid cannot impunity. This game will not end in a four-way impunity vote this turn.
Okay.
What will happen instead is another surrender vote.
Okay.
Where Audron, I think, proposes a surrender to the top four powers.
Okay.
So England, IU, France, and Safavid. Being like, hey, these four players are going to win this game. They are it's just the way things are going to go.
Yeah.
Safavid fell one short because they and England were screwing around. But if the game goes on another year, it's just going to be some shuffling among the top four and the same outcome.
Yeah.
Is the argument that's made. And so how many people are left in this game? There's 4 eliminations. So 21 players have to vote for a surrender.
Uh-huh.
Now, to your knowledge, how many Impidip games have had successful surrender votes?
It's a very low number. I think it's low single digits.
Yeah, I'm only aware of one succeeding. Following this phase, I was aware of 2.
Okay.
Because this game does end in a unanimous surrender vote. So
That's
technically speaking, this is not an impunity.
Yeah.
This is just a 4-way win.
Yeah.
Unanimously decided by the board.
It's just a surrender. Okay. Cool.
So yeah, the Imperial Diplomacy Championship ends with 4 winners via surrender. And that is the conclusion of the, I guess you'd call it the highest rated Imperial Diplomacy game yet held.
Super, super cool. Like, so much high level play all around. There was a lot of like very heads up play from players all over the board. There's great tactics and stuff. Yeah, it was just a super, super pleasant game to go through.
Yeah, it was absolutely fascinating. You know, obviously, I complained quite a bit about various moves made by various players, and I complained even more in my void. But you know, I still ultimately got the outcome I wanted. I got it a win. I got you know, a pretty nice IU position, in my opinion, both in the in-state and even if the game had kept on going.
Yeah.
Um, I think my position was pretty darn good.
Yeah, you've broken the stalemate line you're unpacking now. So like Chinese stuff is falling to you. Formosa, Ryukyu, this is all like gonna be yours long term. You're winning against England and India. You're
Yeah,
winning
and
in
England
Australia.
can't. Yep, England can't build either. All of her cores are blocked.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really good. It's a really, really good IU position.
Obviously, England and France both played incredible games.
Oh yeah.
This EF absolutely defined the game, to their great success and the frustration of many of their neighbors.
And just off rip too, playing like St. John's, Newfoundland Banks, Port Royal Trade, and the St. Anthony stuff. Just like
Oh yeah, no,
super sick. Super, super sick.
yeah, just absolutely mind-boggling, and it was super effective too. Just absolutely wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Safavid too. Safavid played an incredible game. Their, their stab against Ottoman did kind of stall out for a while, but in the long run, it absolutely paid off for them. Um, and yeah, they only made it to 35 in the end, but they were absolutely going to reach VSCC if the game went on another year. Like this is a incredible Safavid position.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. And like, we talked about IU being a slow power to hit 32. Safed is a notoriously slow power. Um, I think 1649 is like one of the earliest Saf wins. I think there were a couple wins in the one wave where like all the games ended after like 1649 or something. But
Oh
like,
yeah,
you know, this is a super super impressive high pace Saf win.
yeah, incredible play. Absolutely deserved to win this game. They have fleets in the Arctic. They think they have two fleets in the Arctic by the end. Well, they have one, but
Laptev,
but they could build. There was about to be the
a
game
second
ended right
one.
before builds
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they have a core in Verk. Um, yeah, Inuit stuff is about to be theirs. They're getting more and more Ottoman stuff. Probably get into the Med soon if the game continues like this.
Yeah,
You
it
know, yeah,
it's
but
just up from here. It's up from here.
um, yeah, so like just huge props to the three. I'm happy to win alongside all three of them.
Mhm.
Um, Commendations to Ming for being an extremely tenacious enemy. Um, I did genuinely want to work with them, and circumstances forced the stab, and he punished me for it as much as he possibly could.
Yeah, it was a pretty resilient game, and it's really hard to hold that kind of stuff when you're playing against an opponent with like 2x 3x your dot count. Um, but yeah, he did well for himself, and not easy to find a survival in that position.
Yeah, and Mughal up until that very sad misordered retreat on the
Yeah,
last year of the game, held out against basically everybody. Another player I really love working with, um, would have loved to ally with, but was unfortunately a dead man walking in this game. Um, but endured to some degree regardless.
yeah. I mean, it was a super interesting game. It was hard for them, I guess, like with Portugal and Mughal stabbing each other in spring. England got a lot of leverage, and then once they got that turn where they cored Katak and they double built Masuli and
Yeah,
Madras, while Mughals disbanded Hyderabad, then it was
and
just
Portugal
over.
also disbands. Like what an England winter!
Yeah,
Two armies and one, two, three, four, five rival disbands in the region.
yeah, it's just so much.
But I will give props to Portugal. If you look at the final end of the game, despite going, minus 13 and then minus 11,
Do they live?
they do survive to the end on 8.
Oh, they make a recovery. So
They
what are
make a
the 1, 2, 3,
recovery.
4, 5, 6, 7, 7 in South America? Do they have one elsewhere?
I think they have Cabo Verde, maybe.
Oh, they have Elos.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, so their rock bottom was 5 centers, and they
Yeah.
actually in the game 3 above that. So big props to Portugal for sticking it out.
Portugal finishing above Spain and Netherlands here,
Oh
which
yeah, no,
did not look like it was going to be that way for a lot of this game.
oh no, those 2 years, was it 44 and 45 or whatever, were just incredibly painful.
Yeah, just the whole world. It just Portugal things, Um,
Yeah, it can fall apart quickly.
you're exposed to so many people, so if the dinner bell rings, it rings and everyone hears.
But yeah, I think those are my thoughts on the game. Did you have any other comments or insights?
No, I think that's about it. It was really fun doing this with you. It was so cool to watch, you know, all this like high level gameplay, and it was great to hear your thoughts and opinions. And I hope it'll be helpful for people coming along later to play IU or just in general looking to get a sense of how some of the strongest players in the community think. So yeah, thanks for sharing this with me and with everyone else.
Yeah, it was a blast. Thanks for having me.